sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Did she review the case? Yeah, last case she gets. Really, Andrew? Can I? Yes, of course. No, I mean, that's
March 21st.
yeah. I mean, she sent you the cases and said, hey, I'm not making anything here. That's what she on the other end. That's one thing, right? Yeah. But
We sent it to her.
yeah,
Excellent. You did a great job.
she should be letting you guys. She should be letting you guys look at her. That's the usual way it goes.
It should not first meeting.
Yeah. It's normal.
Can you see Tony? Is she ready? Oh, Susan. Yeah. I think she is, but
Yeah.
she looks to be ready. Susan's on here. I know
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
You ready, sir?
and then let you look at the
Sorry.
ballots, and then you see which ones might turn in. That used to be the move, you know? So frustrating.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Zoning Board of Appeals. I'd like to brief you on some of the rules and procedures used during our hearings. When your hearing number is called, the applicant or representative will come to the podium. If they are not an attorney, they will be sworn in by our executive secretary. They will then present their case. Board members may or may not ask questions of the applicant. We do go out and we inspect a lot of these properties before the hearing, so if we don't ask questions, that's because we've seen it already. The board members I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Once the applicant has concluded, the board will then ask if anybody in the audience is interested in speaking either for or against the application. They will come up and speak, and then the applicant will give a brief rebuttal. The stenographer can only take one person's testimony at a time, so we ask that you do not call out from the audience. We will give everyone an opportunity to be heard. Sometimes proceedings do not end until 1 a.m. or later, but everyone will be given an opportunity to speak. Lastly, at approximately 9 p.m., our stenographer will have been typing for about 2 hours, and we will take a 10-minute break. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do we have any postponements tonight?
We have two postponements. We have hearing number 3, Appeal 23-665, Catherine Danielowicz at 104 Fairwater Avenue, Massapequa. And we have hearing 13, Appeal 23-558, Morton Village Realty at 1054 Old Country Road, Plainview.
Anyone here for either one of those applications?
10 and 13.
Let the record reflect that no one appeared, and let's call the first hearing.
Hearing 1, Appeal 23-615, Vincent Posse at 93 Biltmore Boulevard, Massapequa.
Officer Truth on these proceedings.
Yes, I do.
An address, please.
Scott Kahn, 68 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Here tonight representing the Apache family. We seek several variances before you. Our first request is to build a roofed-over patio structure with 2.94% over the permitted 25%, asking 27.94%. Our second request is to permit the same structure to be only 110.4 square feet over the allowable gross floor area, asking 3,385.4 square feet. Our third and final request is to permit a proposed pool equipment to be 3 feet instead of 5 feet off the side property line. The equipment will be screened from adjacent properties and from the interior backyard. That's basically it.
So this is a substandard lot.
Yes. You know, when the house was built, it was built to the maximum 25. So
Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision?
The public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
Thanks. I think that was my shortest night ever.
And that was one of your easiest applications.
Hearing number 2, Appeal 23-633, Austin Mastro at 119 East Drive, Massapequa.
We'll call him a second.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
Okay, well,
Okay, we'll call that again. We'll take the next
okay.
case.
Okay. Hearing number 4, Appeal 23-709, Carl Coratola at 225 Massachusetts Avenue, Massapequa.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Jackman.
Just raise your right hand.
Yes,
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
yes, I did.
And your name and address, please.
Jackman Prescott, 303 Merrick Road, Lynbrook, New York, 11563.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm representing the client here. We are requesting a variance for the second-story addition, 2 rear platforms with steps to grade, bay window, second-story balcony, which exceeds the maximum gross floor area, and also the roof pitch. And basically, the roof pitch is to maintain the architectural structure of the house. So there's continuity between the second floor addition and the existing structure.
Do you have any kind of information, approvals from the neighbors?
We don't, we sent out the green cards, but no approvals from the neighbors as yet.
That's fine.
Okay, we'll find out if anybody's here.
There is a pretty big increase in gross floor area. Is that because the basement was included?
Yes,
Basement finished?
initially, we didn't include the basement, and the building department picked it up because the ceiling height exceeds the 7 feet. Was always existing that way. So a substantial portion of that percentage is due to the basement.
Is the basement finished?
Yes, it is.
I heard you mention rear balconies, a rear balcony on the back of the house. Is that off the master bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
And it has steps to grade?
Yes.
And a cellar entrance? Is that proposed or is existing?
I believe it is existing. That was always existing, the cellar entrance.
It's existing? Is there a 3-piece bathroom down there, Michael? No bathroom? Thank you.
There are a lot of big houses in that area.
Cellar entrance is existing.
Is that cellar entrance in the rear of the house or on the
It's in
side?
no, it's in the rear.
It's in the rear?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision?
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you. Have a blessed night.
Next is hearing number 5, Appeal 23-729, Jason and Kristen Zingales at 572 North Suffolk Avenue, North Massapequa, New York. Should say north, that's north, that's not Massapequa.
Oh, okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Jason Zingales, 572 North Suffolk, Massapequa, New York, 11758.
Thank you.
Is the microphone on?
Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Sorry. We are going for a few variances. One for a proposed front yard setback. We are encroaching in the setback by a little over a foot. We have a setback, 2 side yard setbacks, because we do not equal the 20-foot aggregate setback. We have encroachment for the eaves and gutters. We have roof pitch. We are proposing a 412 instead of 612 because of the height of the house, to get the pitch to work. Let's see. We also are exceeding the gross floor area. The basement is included in that. It's completely unfinished. It's a 7'1" ceiling in there. So they're including that in the gross square footage. Otherwise, we're not terribly exceeding the square footage. And then we have another one for the driveway, because we have the driveway closer than 8 feet off the property line.
So you're trying to get some extra bedrooms?
We are, yeah. We have
your
a
kids back there?
very large family.
Okay, I
So,
get it.
So you need 1, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. 3 or
Yes.
5 bedrooms.
Oh, wow.
right, we bought the house with intentions on doing the work, so right now it's very tight in the house. It's a-
Okay, so I was to the property today, and it says proposed, that you're going to keep the proposed house and then just pour a new foundation. Thank you. It's not on? No, it's not on? It's on? Okay. So you're going to add on to the house, you're going to remain in the house while the construction goes on?
We may move out.
You're brave.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait.
That's a lot.
But
I
yes.
have to say that it is in character of the block. There's 5 other homes that have extended and made them beautiful. I mean, and according to what you're asking for, that's what it looks like, you know, that it would fit in the character of the house. My question is, do you have any, of course, approvals from the neighbors?
We do.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
And the most affected, wow, nice neighbors, good job.
Yes,
Okay.
every single one of them.
Yep. Well, bringing the children tonight was excellent. You're not renting.
Yeah, definitely not. That's all for us.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else that wants to speak tonight?
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed. Decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Have a good
Lots of
night.
Hearing number 6, Appeal 23-619, Young Feng at 246A North Albany Avenue, North Massapequa.
Hi, good evening.
Raise your right hand, please. Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Yun Feng, 246A, North Albany Avenue, Massapequa, New York, 11758.
Say that all again. Didn't hear a word of it.
Yeah, she has to take it down.
Oh, okay.
Slower.
Yun Feng, 246A, North Albany Avenue, Massapequa, New York, 11758.
Thank you.
This is a,
Okay.
can I start? Okay. This is a variance to allow the existing 6-foot high PVC fence exceeding maximum height inside front yard.
Can't hear you.
Can anybody hear what she's saying? I can't.
Yeah, if you're sworn in,
If you're sworn
absolutely.
in, sure.
My name's Louis Rossi, address 246A North Albany Avenue, Massapequa, New York, 11758.
Thank you. You promise to tell the truth during these proceedings, right, sir?
I do.
Thank you much.
So yes, we're requesting a variance to allow an existing 6-foot-high PVC fence exceeding maximum height inside front yard, which is North Bay Avenue, than permitted by ordinance.
Okay. There's 80 feet of fence going from the north side to the south side of the property. Where it ends, at the neighbor's property, where the 80 feet ends. And then goes east,
It would go
like
west.
west,
Yeah.
like
So
right here.
Right, so is that Bay Avenue that it goes along, the fence that goes along Bay Avenue?
It goes along Bay Avenue.
Okay,
North
so
Bay
we're
Avenue.
going down Bay, and I was to the property today, but I just want you to clarify that on the record. The back fence, does that back up against that neighbor's driveway?
No,
Okay,
no, it's, how many feet? Their driveway is not,
They have their fence
they have their fence up,
they
and then
have
I
their
would
fence,
say,
and you put your fence up against it.
lined up with theirs.
Correct, it is. So their fence existed where their driveway, but their driveway is there or not?
No.
No,
their
okay.
driveway is, I
don't
don't know
have
how many
driveway.
feet.
It's on the other side?
Yeah,
In
it's-
front of their house.
In the front of their house, like,
Yeah.
so now we're on the side of your property on Bay Avenue, and the house that's in the backyard, but facing Bay Avenue,
Okay.
where is their driveway?
There's like a
On,
little
like up
fence
against the
area.
fence, or on the other side?
They don't have driveway on the North Bay Avenue. Their driveway is in the front of their house. They park their car off street.
Because I don't know if they understand.
So their house is
There's like a
on,
Yeah, I
little,
wanna
there's
know
like a
if their
little
driveway's there.
garage, like, I guess there's a little walkway to the garage that they have.
Oh.
yeah, I want to, but I want to,
So their driveway was here.
because this is what,
They drive off the, they park
I
off
do
the
want
street.
to ask.
We don't have a.
So,
Okay,
so it's not Bay Avenue?
correct.
So their side yard is Bay Avenue?
Yeah, their side yard.
Got
Yeah.
it. That's the way I
The other
saw
one
it.
is
Yes.
North Rutherford, they're front of the.
North
house.
Rutherford.
They're around the corner, exactly. Okay, that's what I saw. So now I have another question for you. And what is going on in the front yard? There's a lot of stuff on your lawn that's, what is that? Why is that
Lawn?
out there? What's going on in the house?
Oh, we had cleared that months ago.
No, I was there today.
Oh, the wood, yeah, we just got a.
We just got it yesterday.
No, it's not firewood. It's like black tiles that
Yes,
are
we just
labored
got- we
with.
just brought 'em
But
in
that's not
last night.
firewood.
No, it's not wood.
No.
It's-
Okay.
It's
Plywood.
plywood, yeah.
Plywood.
Plywood,
Yeah.
black
Yes.
plywood, okay.
That's
So
painted, yeah.
why is, but there's a lot of other stuff out in front of the yard. Why is it there?
Because we
What are you
don't,
doing?
because we didn't have a garage and we have a permit to renovate the house and we were being sick. Right now I have a
Oh, so you're in the
favor.
process of renovating
Yes,
inside?
yes.
Okay. And all the supplies are on the front lawn?
Usually we
Temporarily.
go first and then
And then we have to.
Use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Even with the elements and everything, that's the snow
No,
and the
we have to
rain?
get that out of there because we just dropped it
Absolutely.
off
Yesterday.
yesterday morning.
Okay, well, I was there today, so that's,
Yeah.
I saw the full load.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the?
We
this-
work full-time and, you know, we have
Okay.
3 kids, so.
All right,
Lots
so
of-
you're working on it.
Yeah.
So, do you have consent from neighbors that, like for the fence? Did you ask any approvals? Do you have letters of consent?
We mail everything out?
The cards, you have the green cards, okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll let the chairwoman take over.
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Anybody in the audience? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
The public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board to be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you.
Mail to us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hearing
Oh,
number
okay.
7,
That's-
Appeal 23-639.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
Carl
you.
Drive
You're welcome.
LLC at 368 Melville Road, Farmingdale.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the board. Andrew Filipazzi, Harris Bloom and Archer, 445 Broad Hollow Road, Melville, New York, on behalf of the applicant and owner, Carl Drive LLC. Applicant is seeking 2 variances in connection with the subdivision of the property with proposed single-family homes on each lot. The 2 variances we're looking for tonight are insufficient lot width at the required rear yard and insufficient lot width from the front property line to the required rear yard. This property is a little unique. The boundary line between the town of Oyster Bay and Village of Farmingdale runs through the middle of the property. The proposed subdivision will have 1 lot fully within the town and the other lot within the village. And both of these
I did see that, yes.
both of these proposed homes will conform to both the town and village zoning requirements respectively. Applicant and the architect, John Macchio, have designed the proposed lot to meet these requirements. The proposed lot within the town is going to be 9,300 square feet, far in excess of the minimum lot size in an R17. FAR is below the maximum and, like I said, conforms with all the setbacks, coverage, et cetera. The reason for the variance is that the rearmost portion of the property is only 50 feet wide. The proposed development is within the area that is 70 feet wide. That 70-foot width runs a depth of 90 feet, and that's where all of the proposed construction development will be. The back 50 feet will only be used as a rear yard. Previously, this property has been improved, and there was a detached one-car garage all the way in that back area. So that has been removed and is intended to remain clear. So I do have some documents that I wanted to pass up. I have enough copies for each of the board members, as well as yourself.
Thank you.
So while the particular lot is a unique shape, the relief sought is similar to many of the other surrounding properties, including those on Oakdale Boulevard, Spencer Street, and Beechwood Street, all zoned R17, but do not have the 70-foot lot width at the rear property line, or do not have the same lot width at the rear and front property lines. This includes the property immediately adjacent to our property in the town, 382 Melville Road, which is a 50 by 150 lot. That is what most of these lots are, other than the pie-shaped parcels. So I'll wrap up my remarks that in granting these variances, there would be no undesirable change to the community, and what's being proposed is within the character of the community. There's no other relief or method for this relief to be sought by the applicant. The requested variances are not substantial. No adverse environmental impacts on the neighborhood, and the reason for this variance is due to the nature and shape of the property, not by the home proposed.
Okay. So I was there today, very familiar with the area, and it's just one house on that property. You're building one structure, one proposed house.
The lot is, the full lot is proposed to be subdivided. There's one lot within the town,
Okay,
which
got
will
it.
be 9,300 square feet. There is another lot that's more, that will be fronting on Balcom.
That's what my question was, yeah.
Yeah, so there will be, on that whole vacant lot, there will be two homes.
Okay, got it, all right. I wasn't clear on that.
Yes,
And so one would be facing Balcom, the other one would be facing Melville.
correct,
All right, and the driveways would enter and exit those blocks?
Correct.
Okay. All right, and of course, the other question is, do you have consents from the neighbors?
I don't believe that we have. The required notices were sent out. We
Yeah,
haven't
the green
received
cards.
any opposition. And this proposed subdivision has gone before the Village of Farmingdale
That was my other question.
and was approved. We did need to make some modifications to the demising line between the two properties. So we do need to return to the village to have it reapproved, but they have approved the subdivision.
Okay. This is another question. I saw a lot of, oh God, I forgot what it's called, what the panda bears eat. What's that?
Bamboo.
Bamboo. Like, have you been to the property or seen the
I
grounds?
haven't been to the property
Everything
recently.
else is cleared, but there's huge bamboo on one neighbor's side and another. It's just a wild kind of invasive. Did the village have anything to say about that?
I'm not aware of that. I
Okay.
will relay that to my client, and because I do know that bamboo is, an issue. And so if there's anything on our property, I'll have them try to get rid of that. I'm
Just
not sure
saying,
where it's
yeah,
coming from.
Because they cleared the whole property, the garage, everything's gone, and this bamboo is like huge. It's like
Yes.
either they cut it down and it grew back already, but
It
is it
does.
staying? Yeah. I know, so,
I will relay that, and we'll try to get that taken care of.
okay.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Come on up, sir.
Good evening, all. My name is Joseph Stile. I live
Raise
up...
your right hand, sir.
Yes, I will,
Please.
ma'am,
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
to the best.
Great. And your name and address, please.
My name is Joseph Stile, and I live at 12 Balcom Road, Farmingdale, 11735.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, any opposition that I would say that's going to happen with this subdividing of the property, I feel will be a problem because it was always, as you said earlier, one house on that property, which was fine. Everything was great, everybody had their own little world, and any kind of an overflow could be absorbed. With two houses on that corner, we had 1 or 2 meetings like this already, you're on a multiple stop sign corner, and that place is like, you know yourself, as far as Melville's like a drag strip. That stop sign is on my corner, and they zip down that block because there's nothing in their way. If anything was to take place with two houses, I don't see where the overflow is going to go, and if anything, they're going to go on Melville, which is my main house, as far as, being right across.
You're on Melville? Your
Yes.
driveway's on Melville?
Right, right. And in fact, during the busy months, I have the police, more or less the officers, right in my driveway because they don't see the stop signs. So before somebody gets hurt or they kind of forget in the way, things get out of control, they're always there. And I always talk with them, we go back and forth and stuff like that. Because like I say, they don't see the stop signs. I said, yeah, which one don't they see? You know what I mean? They're all over the place.
Yeah.
But to say like also too, being they took the driveway out, like you noticed in the back, the garages and stuff, again, where does everything go? You know what I mean? No garages, there's going to be the overflow of family, there's always the extended family. So now, any kind of a big function, 4th of July, any kind of, any kind of
Company,
parties,
yeah.
it's all going to go on that main drag, which I can't see where it's going to accommodate that many people. You know what I mean? And before things get out of control and somebody gets hurt, and like nobody saw it, you start to say, well, didn't anybody else see what you were seeing? I'm like, I would hope so.
So there's no garages with the houses that are being proposed? There's no garage?
I haven't heard of anything. Oh, the only thing
Yes.
between you that I hear
They will
about
provide two off-street parking spaces,
They're
one driveway, one
responsible,
garage.
yeah.
for both houses.
Well, he can
Hold
show
on a
you.
second, wait 1 second. Say that again? 3?
Ah,
Okay.
Okay, that's good. The presenter can explain that to you if you would like to see the plans.
Well, that's one thing we never see. The only thing we ever see or heard about is the word
Okay,
variance.
That's great, and it's great that you came.
Right,
Do you have,
So here's what's going to happen.
yes.
I cannot allow you to question him. We will question him, so we can do one of two things.
Right.
You can go out into the lobby and look
Okay.
at the plans with the attorney, and then when you're finished, we'll call him back to finish up.
Okay.
Or you can take a seat and let him try and explain it to you, but you have to direct your questions to us.
I understand. I
Okay.
understand. I'm just
So do
talking
you-
to you and no one else. But the thing is, that's why I was just trying to make the point of saying, like everything else, you want that status quo, which would have been, like, even if they build a McMansion, who cares? You know what I mean? You would have had one house, a garage, the driveway, like most of us have on that block. My house is kind of what was there already, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So again, I have the one house, but I have a 2-car garage. But again, at no time, really, I really don't need the streets to park on, which would be Balcom.
nor would you want to, right?
No, because again, when things, you have the UPS, you have all the delivery trucks,
Right.
where are they going to go? And as it is, if anybody's straying in the neighborhood, you see them on your front door with your morning coffee, like, I don't have a minivan, you know what I mean? Where'd that come? But again, you say, all right, somebody's neighbor, extended family, whatever. But in this case, I don't see it.
Next door, yeah.
I don't see how they're going to get around that.
So we can see from our plans that there is a garage and two-car garage? One-car garage. Okay, do you want to talk to him? He can show you the plans and you'll know exactly.
I have no problem with
All
seeing
right,
something.
You can come back as soon as you're finished talking, but you have to go outside so
Okay.
we can take the next case.
Yes, I
And
understand.
then what-
I don't want to take the whole
No,
thing,
no,
you know.
no, that's what I'm saying. So,
Plans with you, sir?
I
Michael can give you a set.
Okay. And if I can just respond to some of the comments, and I'll be more than happy to discuss.
yes, and then you'll come back.
outside,
You won't
but-
have to wait. We'll take you as soon as
As
you're
soon as you come back
finished.
in.
Okay, because I can kind of respond to everything.
All right, well, let's
Afterwards.
try that. Let's see if that works.
Okay.
So, sir, you have a seat, and we're
Yes,
going to
I
let
will.
him,
Okay.
thank you.
So I think part of it was mentioned. We have code-conforming parking. We're not requesting a variance for parking on this lot, nor on the lot that's going to be in Farmingdale. I'm sure, as you're aware, Melville Road is a county road. We're going to require 239F review on this, so they're going to look at the curb cut, they're going to look at overflow parking, all of that's going to be resolved, and any mediation that needs to be done will be done at that point before there's a shovel in the ground.
Do they have your application, the county?
Yes, I believe they do.
I know it takes a little bit of time to get it back from them.
239F could be anywhere from 6 months to a year plus.
I know.
So,
Right.
I believe our architect has started that process. I don't believe there's been any comments for that. But again, that's to address the neighbor's concern. There is an added layer on that, but in the view of, zoning and the town requirements, we're fully conforming with parking, off-street parking.
Okay.
Okay, so to
So you got
answer
that?
his question, each house has a garage. Each
Yes.
structure has its own garage, right?
Yes.
Yes. And the driveway, how many cars can be parked in the driveway besides the garage?
I believe that's 2.
Okay.
They
in both
conform then,
houses.
yeah.
So each garage can house 1 car and then 2 in the driveway. So they have 3 parking spaces, correct?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Does that answer your question,
Well,
sir?
yeah,
Or do you
it's
still
more
want
or
to see
less-
the plans?
Well, I can see the plans, it wouldn't bother me in a way, but I'm just saying, in a way, in general, you never see any of that or hear about that much of it. The only thing I really heard about it was being subdivided, and more or less that they're putting variance for every time they were gonna make an adjustment one way or the other, but that was been going on and on. But the thing is, after a while,
I got to stop you, because I can't even let you talk from the audience, and you just,
Yeah,
here's what we're going to do.
Right.
You either want to see the plans, or we're going to wrap this up.
I'll see the plans.
All right, so
Okay,
let's
good.
do that, and then we'll wrap it up.
okay. We're going to take the next case.
Outside.
You're going to go out with him, and he's going to show you everything and ask all your questions.
Okay, hearing number 8, Appeal 23-634, Matthew Denny at 5 Siemens Neck Road, Bethpage.
Gennaro again.
What?
It's
Gennaro
again, I don't see
Catalino.
him.
Oh, for the other one here, the case,
Not
okay.
here.
No show?
Okay, well,
do it
we'll
second
call
call.
later.
Okay, second call.
Hearing 9, Appeal 23-638, Walter Trish at 17 North Brittany Drive, Bethpage.
Oh, we're having a bad night. Call it again.
Call it again, okay. Walter Trish, Appeal 23-638, hearing 9.
Lois, I did get an email from the Office of the Architect. They're at another hearing in Amityville coming here, so she asked to be second call if she wasn't here on time.
Okay,
Please.
okay, fine.
This
So
is
we have
gonna be a
lot
long
of
That one I
back
did
and
get an
forth.
email this afternoon.
Okay, hearing number 10, Appeal 23 dash,
It's
What?
Gennaro.
that's also this, okay, all right. Maybe we should take a break and come
Maybe
back
we
here.
should have a
Hearing
Gasolino
11,
night.
Appeal 23-656, Amrit Sethi at 34 Summit Street, Hicksville.
We're on 11.
11, yeah. Thank you for being here.
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
Yes, I do.
Name and address.
John Teufel, Teufel, professional engineer, 707 Route 110, Farmingdale. I'm here tonight with Mr. Amrit Sethi, the owner of 34 Summit Street, Hicksville, who's seeking variances for side yard setback and maximum building coverage to maintain a 148-square-foot shed on a concrete slab and an existing widened driveway. The zone is R17, where a 3-foot west side yard setback to the shed is required, and we are requesting 2.7 feet for this storage shed. We're also requesting a 26.03% maximum building coverage, where 25% is permitted by ordinance. Secondly, we're requesting a 0-foot east side yard for the expanded concrete driveway. where the minimum required side yard to the driveway is 8 feet. We'd like to know that the east and most affected neighbor with the driveway situation has their driveway on the opposite side of the property, so as to minimize the impact of his widened driveway, Mr. Setti's widened driveway. There are other similar storage sheds and widened driveway in the area. Mr. Setti purchased the home over 16 years ago, resides there with his wife and adult son, and really loves the area. Tonight's hearing was brought about during application number P2306-0399. Excuse me, I'll repeat that, P2306-0399 for a finished basement, which existed when Mr. Setti purchased the home in 2007. He informs me that there has never been a kitchen nor a tenant in the finished basement. And that completes our case.
Anybody have any questions?
I don't.
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed. Decision of the board to be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks.
Good night.
Hearing number 12, Appeal 23-657, Jawad Rana at 14 Bishop Lane, Hicksville.
Please tell the truth during these proceedings.
I do.
Name and address.
Salvatore Koshia, permit to us, 338 Jericho Turnpike, Syosset, New York, 11791. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board.
Thank you.
I'm here on behalf of Mr. Rana at 14 Bishop Lane in Hicksville. Property is located in R17 zone. Proposing to maintain a shed attached to the dwelling and a front roof over that do not have the required side yard setback of 8 feet or the aggregate side yard of 20 feet. The shed is 3.4 feet and the roof over is 4.5 feet. The aggregate to the shed is 7.9 and 12 feet to the roof over. Please note that the side yard and aggregate for the roof over are exactly the same as the dwelling. They don't exceed the footprint. The existing shed and roof over have a lot coverage of 30.52, where the required is 25%. And we're also looking for reduction of off-street parking from 2 spaces to 1 due to the garage conversion and encroachment of eaves and gutters, and amend specific plan 98-38.
Is this still a parent-child?
No longer. It's been removed. There is no secondary kitchen. Originally, they were going for it, but they're not.
I would have never said yes to a garage conversion.
Understood, but their families moved to their, in Jersey and somewhere else. I have no idea where they are.
Okay. Anybody have any other questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
The public hearing is closed and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by
Thank you.
our
Have a great
office.
night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Hearing number 14, Appeal 23-728, Minetta Hill Associates, 116 LLC at 52 Minetta Hill Road in Plainview. Is being heard with anything? Sure.
We're gonna be here for an hour.
Nah, it's gonna be easy.
All the money.
What is David Portman?
And nobody comes. Nobody. I know.
Yikes.
Oh, lovely.
Careful pronunciation in case 17.
This is beautiful.
Oh, Planet Fitness.
Wow.
Okay, great, thank you. No, I have one, thank you.
This is where the old supermarket was, right?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Good evening, Brian Weber, Weber Law Group, 290 Broad Hollow Road, Melville, for the applicant. So with me this evening is Nicholas Brown, who's Vice President of Development for Kimco Realty Corporation, who owns the shopping center. Also present, Kara Pagan, who's the Director of New Club Openings for Planet Fitness. Ian Poole, who's the Vice President of Real Estate and Construction for Planet Fitness. Chuck Olivo, professional engineer for traffic and parking from Stonefield Engineering, and Mike Biancanello and Dominic Cardulo, engineers from Bowler Engineering. They're not all testifying, so don't worry, we will be efficient. This application seeks two variances to permit the construction of a 17,464 square foot Planet Fitness gym at the Minetto Hill Plaza Shopping Center, owned and managed by Kimco Realty Corporation. As this board is well aware, Kimco is the world's leading owner of grocery-anchored shopping centers with its worldwide headquarters in the town of Oyster Bay, and the owner of 9 shopping centers in the town of Oyster Bay, from Massapequa in the south to Jericho in the north. The proposed Planet Fitness is intended to fill a portion of the former Fairway Supermarket, which has been vacant for 4 years. Kimco has performed an exhaustive search for a suitable tenant for this vacant space, and Planet Fitness is the most qualified tenant, best suited to service the surrounding community, as well as bring vitality and commercial viability back to Minetto Hill Plaza. The application received a special use permit and site plan approval from the town board on October 3rd, 2023. The variances we seek from this board are a parking variance to reduce the required parking from 628 spaces to 444 spaces, and to operate a 24-hour business adjacent to a residential zone. First, regarding the 24-hour operation, Planet Fitness is a community-first operation with membership starting at only $10 per month, which provides the best value, highest quality gym experience in the market. Planet Fitness has over 2,500 locations worldwide, including 26 on Long Island and 11 in Nassau County. It is a gym for everyone from the first-timer to the experienced athlete. Because it is community first, Planet Fitness remains open for 24 hours, Monday through Thursday. The hours for Friday are 12 a.m. to 10 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The 24-hour operation is intended to provide a safe and welcoming environment for exercise for people who perform their professional duties during non-traditional hours and need to fit workouts in when they can. Police officers, emergency room doctors, nurses, and students, those people who sometimes don't work during the day, all need a place to exercise at a time which works for their schedules. Currently, there is no location in Plainview which can service these deserving members of the community. This Planet Fitness proposes to be that location. Planet Fitness is not open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Its 24-hour operations are only Monday through Thursday to service those members of the community who deserve to have a first-rate location to exercise when they need to, and for that, this application needs that variance. The second variance we need, as stated before, is a parking variance. Before Chuck Olivo, the applicant's traffic and parking engineer, testifies on the parking variance, I wanted to give this board some context. When we initially presented this application to the town board was focused on making sure the applicant did everything it could to present evidence that the parking demand generated by the Planet Fitness could be satisfied by the parking available on the property. In response to the town board's concerns, the applicant embarked on detailed parking studies of the Planet Fitness locations in Melville, Massapequa, Hicksville, and Syosset. It's the most comprehensive parking analysis for a gym we've ever done. Based on the actual observed and experienced data at those Planet Fitness locations, there is sufficient parking on-site to account for a fully tenanted shopping center, including the constructed but not yet open 33,000 square foot grocery store and the Planet Fitness. To further satisfy the town board, which helped secure their approval, the applicant did the following 4 things. They reduced the Planet Fitness size from 19,159 square feet to 17,464 square feet, a reduction of approximately 1,700 square feet, which also reduced the required parking variance by 18 spaces. Number 2, created a second entrance for Planet Fitness at the rear of the building, allowing for convenient employee parking for Planet Fitness employees in parking spaces less desirable for customers. 3, created dedicated employee parking for employees of all tenants at Minetto Hill Plaza, which will open up the most convenient parking spaces for customers. And 4, created dedicated 1-hour customer parking spaces throughout the property, which will allow for frequent turnover of those parking spaces to allow for their optimal usage. These changes to the existing conditions at the property will allow for the most efficient parking utilization possible for all tenants. To be clear, these changes were not necessary to make the parking for the Planet Fitness work. They were good suggestions from the town board, which have been incorporated into the plan. Finally, I wanted to note the practical case for approval of this application. Currently, including the Planet Fitness space, which is vacant, and the vacant grocery store, there is currently 60,423 square feet of vacant and/or available space at the shopping center. The shopping center only totals 800 88,191 square feet, which means that 68.5% of the shopping center is either vacant and/or available for rent. This shopping center, which for years was a great asset to the Plainview community, needs to be brought back to its prior place as a community hub. The Planet Fitness, with its attractive design, energy, and symbiotic relationships with its co-tenants at this shopping center, will do that. At the August 15th Town Board hearing, I submitted a petition signed by 49 owners and employees of tenants at the shopping center in favor of the Planet Fitness application. It reads in part, as you are aware, the current retail climate continues to be challenging for tenants at Minetto Hill Plaza. These difficulties have been exacerbated since the 2020 closing of the Fairway Supermarket, which was accompanied by a significant decline in foot traffic and sales. While we are hopeful that the future opening of a new grocery store will be beneficial, the remaining vacancy of over 19,000 square feet remains a looming concern. The fitness facility would create an ideal complementary use, as frequent visits from patrons will generate much-needed customers for adjacent businesses. Conversely, a long-standing vacancy not only hurts tenants, but also sends a negative message to the community that Oyster Bay continues to be an underperforming retail market. It concludes with the following. We understand that there were concerns regarding parking impacts associated with the proposed fitness use. However, as tenants that have seen a fully occupied center in its busiest times, our experience demonstrates that the parking lot would function adequately with the inclusion of this new fitness use. It is also clearly preferred to the alternative, struggling businesses and an empty parking field without shoppers. This application has been through a careful, thorough, multi-year town review. The application has been determined to be a Type 2 action under SECRA, and the town's own Department of Environmental Resources stated as follows in its March 15, 2023 memo on the application. On the basis of our evaluation, actions or classes of actions identified as Type 2 have been predetermined not to have a significant impact on the environment. To transform the shopping center, we only seek the two variances before you. The town's Department of Environmental Resources has determined that the variances will not have a significant environmental impact. Approval of the variances will only help to improve the shopping center for the residents of Plainview, while providing Plainview with an industry-leading fitness option within an already constructed building that will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, nor a detriment to nearby properties. And by already reducing the size of the gym from the initial application, the applicant is only seeking the minimum relief necessary to bring this popular and sought-after use to the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm happy to answer any questions, or I can have Chuck make his presentation on the parking variance, whichever you prefer.
I just have a question about
Sure.
did this go through the Planning Advisory Board as well?
No, we got
review.
site plan approval from the town board.
Okay.
As part of the special use permit.
Okay. Are there any changes to the parking as far as restriping, lighting, or anything like that?
The only changes are the addition of employee-specific parking and 1-hour parking, which we've done in certain locations on the property to try to spread the use of the parking in the property out. And that was a specific request of the town board, which we did.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else have any questions?
What would be the average amount of people that join the gym that would be there? Say, you're open 24 hours, but on the nights that you're not, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, when their shoppers go into the supermarket, how many spaces would the gym need?
So I'll let Chuck answer
great.
the questions when it comes to that. And if he doesn't answer that, I'll either ask him that question, or we can ask him that one again. And I have other information, but I think it should be a part of his presentation.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I have to swear you in, sir. Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
I do.
Your name and address, please.
Certainly. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Charles Olivo. Last name is O-L-I, V as in Victor O. Stonefield Engineering and Design. We are the traffic engineers of the project. 584 Broadway, New York, New York. As Mr. Weber stated, we prepared a comprehensive parking utilization study for the subject plaza. We have been studying this plaza for the better part of 3 years, dating back to 2021. We've looked at all of the various parking stalls located throughout the site and have conducted what we call a parking utilization study throughout the course of a typical day. What that means is we go through the entire parking lot and we count in the various regions of the parking lot how many of the parking stalls are being used and how many are empty. And during the existing conditions, if you drove by the site or you drove into the site, certainly as you come in through the traffic signal access point, it's quite empty in that middle portion of the site with the vacancies that Mr. Weber stated. There's about over 300 parking stalls that are not used on a daily basis within this center. So a very big part of this application is to bring activity and energy back into the center so that it does a better job of supporting itself. There's a number of different tenants within the shopping center today that interact with these different spaces once they're repurposed and reoccupied by different users. So that's why Kimco is excited to bring Planet Fitness and have the opportunity to bring Planet Fitness into this facility, because it really does, the shopping center itself feeds off of the other users in the site. By looking at the site in the occupied case with both a grocer coming in and Planet Fitness, what we try to do from a traffic engineering perspective and a parking utilization perspective is understand if the site were to be once again 100% occupied, which is what I think we all hope for in these commercial centers, is there adequate parking to supply the amount of parking associated with the demand that would be coming in on a daily basis? And as Board Member Mulligan asked, this idea of how many of these spaces would be open during certain times, because we all know in shopping centers there are certain times of the day where the various retail users aren't experiencing much of a peak, and then there are other times of day where they are experiencing a lot of demand. So we want to make sure that all of the various users operate in somewhat of a synergistic way and that they complement each other's use. So what we found when we conducted a proposed study is that if we were to reoccupy the space, just over 17,000 square feet with a Planet Fitness, and to have an active grocer and all of the other retail within this shopping center is occupied, that there would be just under about 100 stalls that would still be empty. 89 stalls during the weekday peak, which is right around the middle of the day, right around 12:30. And then also on a Saturday, there would be 123 empty stalls. So that means more than 20% of the parking lot within this center would be empty even during the highest peak of the fitness club, of a grocer if it were operating, and all of the other retailers. Typically what we find is during a weekday, a Planet Fitness will experience its highest demand generally between the hours of about 4 to 6 p.m. That's when most people are either coming after a work day. There are some times where you find the early morning to be peaks as well, but they're much softer than what you find in that 4 to 6 p.m. peak hour. On a weekend, generally speaking, mid to late morning, so about 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And generally what we find is about anywhere from 60 to 80 parking stalls are occupied by fitness club members that are actively working out during that time. This shopping center has 444 stalls total within the shopping center. So again, you can get a sense of that Planet Fitness parking accumulation is a very small part of what we would expect on a typical day during typical peak hours. As I mentioned, after studying it for about 3 years, and also we don't have many opportunities, but Kimco certainly gives us the opportunity here to really try to get it right by studying other sample sites where there are Planet Fitness operating. Most of the time we rely on the Institute of Transportation Engineers ITE manual, but by conducting studies in local areas like Massapequa, Syosset, and Melville, we're really able to drill down and see what is the demand within this area. And from those studies, we find that generally speaking, they're consistent with what the industry standard manuals tell us, that same demand level which I stated earlier. So for all those reasons, using the industry standard manuals, using local studies, using all of the data that we've collected here at the center, there'd be more than adequate parking to accommodate this center when it's 100% utilized.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Weber, do you want to speak again, or do you want me to open it up to see if anybody else wants to speak?
Yes, thank you.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, anybody want to be heard on this application? Could you all come up? We'll swear you all in together. And what I would like to say, you're all welcome to speak, but if the person before you says everything that you wanted to say, please don't say it again. Just say, I agree with them. Okay?
like a plan.
It's simple, all right. Everybody raise your right hand.
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
I do.
And then as you come to the podium, please just put your name and address on the record.
Sure.
Thank you.
Miguel Casañas, 15468 9th Avenue,
And could you spell it for the stenographer, please?
Casanas, Whitestone, New York, 11357.
Thank you.
All right, why don't you speak first? and-
So I have, like some of the other people here, I have my practices in the mall.
Okay.
And since the shopping center closed, or since the supermarket closed, things have been flat. And so I support the variance.
You could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Right.
We want some traffic. We want some traffic there. We need it.
I'm glad to hear.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi, my name is Alan Fromm, F-R-O-M-M. I live at 3 Jeremy Avenue in Plainview. We abut the property behind. I'm also speaking on behalf of my neighbors at number 1, number 5, and number 7. Over the past 30-plus years, we've had a number of issues with the shopping center, and in particular with the occupant of the building in which the fitness center is looking to open. Many of the issues were resolved over time, thanks to the work of the town and the board and the council members. But one issue remained throughout all that time, and it only disappeared when Fairway moved out, and that was the issue of excessive noise. Trucks would come through the rear of the building at all hours of the day and night, as early as 4:30 in the morning, and as late as 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning as well. While the proposed fitness center is going to be open, it's a 24-hour operation, we all believe that there aren't going to be 18-wheelers coming through making any deliveries at all hours of the night. At least that's what we're hoping for. This discussion about a grocery opening up there, that would be another issue, but we didn't hear anything about that. I'm not going to speak to that, but again, there's...
First I'm hearing of it.
Okay, but that would be a concern. Further, I know there are a lot of small businesses in that shopping center that have been struggling to keep open since Fairway left, and we feel a strong anchor in that shopping center would certainly go a long way in helping these vital businesses remain viable and successful. The fitness center is seeking a variance that's going to reduce the number of parking spots that are available. I know on Jeremy Avenue, we have absolutely no concern that the people are going to be parking on Jeremy Avenue. Also, having a gym literally in your backyard is not bad. You know, hey, we're thinking of maybe some free...
It could be right next to my bed.
Well, I renamed my bathroom gym, so I go to the gym every morning. Yeah, we're also hoping maybe they'd, spring for some free membership, but that's near there. Like the gentleman that spoke before me, we are in total support of granting the variance to the fitness center, but we also do ask that if the variance is granted, that the fitness center will respect their neighbors and operate within the framework of the town's ordinances, specifically those relating to noise.
I'm sure
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the
Thank you
board.
for coming.
Hi, Daniel Fink.
Amber Pink?
Do you need our address?
Yes, please.
22 Library Lane, Plainview, New York.
Thank you.
What's the spelling of the last name?
F like Frank,
Yes.
I-N-K.
Oh, thank you.
So we live bordering this shopping center. We missed the Fairway. It was a shame when it closed. We're walking distance. Our backyard borders this commercial strip of stores. And it has been really sort of depressed since Fairway left, and we think a fitness center would be great. However, there was a lot of talk about parking engineers and lawyers. I don't know anything about the parking, but what I'm concerned about is something that the prior gentleman mentioned, and that's the noise. A fitness center would be great, but 24 hours. My understanding from the letter I got, and I haven't heard anything about this before I got this letter a week ago, is that they're looking for a variance because it's not zoned to have 24-hour commercial activity. Because, as I understood from the letter, because it borders residential houses. And it borders residential houses along the entire back of it, on both sides, where we're on one of the sides, and even across the street, across Meadow Hill Road. Residential houses all along the way. So, we have 3 children. We've been in this house for 16 years. kids have to wake up and go to school. If there's noise in the middle of the night, that's problematic. Adults have to wake up and go to work. I think a fitness center would be great for that shopping center. I hope that we can fill all the retail space there and make it thriving again. But 24 hours, all night long?
I don't think it's a particularly noisy business.
Just a lot of grunting.
It's all indoors.
It's indoors.
If the employee parking is behind the lot, that's directly where the noise would come from. Is there going to be a lot of, like...
So if you were in
doors
back
up
of the
there?
stores, and then there's the stores, and then the parking lot?
Isn't that the employee parking?
Yeah, that's what they were saying, the employee
Yeah.
parking. So like if you have the strip of stores here,
Yeah.
like the delivery trucks come along the back, which is where a lot of the issues from Fairway came from,
Right.
with the deliveries. But if that's where they're planning to put the parking, that's also where that borders our property.
And we'll let them explain that when they come back up.
So you're concerned about the employee parking in the
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, employees would be there for a long time. They're not just in for an
Coming and
hour to.
going,
Yeah.
And it's,
So you should-
My
Right.
guess is at that hour of the night, there's not going to be more than 2 or 3 employees
Yeah.
either.
Yeah,
right.
it's not going to
And
be.
the 24 hours is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it's 4 nights a week. It is weeknights.
So
And
school
I-
nights
and
and
I
work
understand.
week.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there a barrier or anything between your house and the parking lot, the shopping center? Like
And
a
we
fence or-
planted trees, but the trees don't really stop the noise. It obstructs the view, but it doesn't stop the noise.
How long has the shopping center itself been there? Do you remember?
The shopping center itself,
Well, they've been 16 years.
we've been there 16 years.
It was there 30 years ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're
It was wall
experiencing it the last 16. They
I mean,
lived there for
the
16.
shopping center is great. Our kids walked to Fairway and bought chocolate
Right.
bars and picked up bananas. The shopping center is great. We have no problem with the shopping center, no problem with the fitness center. I think a fitness center would be great. My concern, our concern, and the concern of some of our neighbors that are on direct sides of us that share that border with the commercial space is solely the 24-hour nature of it, is that there could be noise all night long. I don't think there'll be noise every night, but how many nights of the year will there be noise? How many nights of the year will you get woken up, or will kids be woken up?
Well, ask them that question.
It's the 24-hour nature of it that's concerning.
Mr. Weber will address those concerns when he gets back up to speak. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you, though, for
Thank you.
coming. I appreciate it.
Yes. Okay, you're up.
Thank you. So happy to address those specific concerns, because that sounds like that is the primary concern. So all the activities are in the building. Overnight, there's only generally at the most 20 users at the gym, 10 to 20 users.
Members?
Members, only 2 employees.
2 employees.
So what we can do, so the town board wanted parking in the rear and a rear entrance specifically for employee parking. However, the overnight employees, we can have them park in front of the building. So there won't be, when the shopping center is empty and the parking lot is.
I think that's a good idea.
And the parking lot
because
is empty.
If they are impacting the neighbors to the rear,
Sure, we can certainly during the overnight hours have those 2 employees park in the front and not use that rear entrance so that there's nobody parking back there.
And the members do come through the front?
We'll come
not
through the front anyway, correct.
So 24 hours, there will be no parking in the rear of the building?
Cor-
Right,
Cor-
overnight.
Overnight, sure,
Yeah,
sure. But from employees, sure, we can do that. And the gym has no delivery, so.
but
we
there
don't-
is you said there was a rear entrance?
But only for employees.
Okay.
It was just so the employees could get back and forth convenient to the parking in the back that the town board wanted. But we'll restrict the overnight employees to the front.
the 2.
Correct, the 2.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission had been notified of this application.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you.
So we're going to condition,
This
Yes,
gentleman
but we will.
is ready to come back.
Yes, well, could you give me the case number again? Which one? Number 7, okay. Call Drive, right? Okay. We're continuing with hearing number 7, Appeal 23-639, Call Drive LLC at 368 Melville Road, Farmingdale.
Thank you again. So I had an
Sorry
opportunity.
you had to wait so long.
No problem. But that's the way it goes. Every time I think I'm
nature
going
of
to
the
get out
beast.
quickly, I get stuck behind something.
that's the way we feel every
I know.
Thursday.
I've been plenty of hearings where there's 2 matters on the agenda, and I'm here longer than I am tonight, so not a problem at all. So I had an opportunity to speak with the neighbor. The builder was here who was able to give him some additional details about both of the lots. I believe all of his, questions have been answered. I think he has, a little bit more satisfied having looked at the plans. If he wants to come up and confirm that
No,
for
he
himself.
can't once he can,
But, again, the curb cut was existing on Melville Road. The house that's in the town is on Melville Road, and will have to undergo 239F review. We have the required parking per the town code, and so we're just asking for that lot width variance with respect to that rearmost portion of the lot.
Okay, good job. Thank you for coming.
Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision?
The public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Have a good evening.
Have a good night.
Hearing number 15, Appeal 23-635, Chandrasekhar Avalor at 26 Hartwick Road, Westbury.
Are you doing all Gennaro's tonight?
What?
This was originally Gennaro, doing this one? I have.
Oh, he has a whole
Is this
bunch.
always you?
This was me and Helen.
15?
Thank you for
Good
coming.
night, thank you.
This is for 6 Freedom Lane, right?
No.
No, 26 Harvard Road.
15.
Sorry.
It's
Is
okay.
he the one that's got all the ones?
This is Gennaro also, and he's.
Yeah, I know.
here. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, hearing number 16, Appeal 23-640, Sanish Thakurok at 6 Freedom Drive, Jericho.
All right.
Wait, we're going.
That was easy.
Gennaro's not here.
16.
so you have to-
We're doing 16.
16 now.
That's 15.
Right.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
Yes, I do.
Your name and address, please.
My name is Dean Kutsubis. My address is 121 Newbridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801. Good evening, members of the board. I'm here this evening on behalf of Sanish Thakurok. He's the owner of the property located at 6 Freedom Drive in Jericho. The property is located at a busy intersection of Freedom Drive and Robbins Lane. Robbins Lane in this area is a rather large road. It's got 4 lanes of traffic, 2 and 2. The immediate area is residential on both sides of the street, but however, there is commercial further down. There's also a school right in that, area nearby. We're seeking a variance to construct a new dwelling on mostly the old foundation and a partial new foundation. We're asking for variances on front yard facing Freedom Drive from 27 feet to, we're asking for 27 feet instead of the required 30 feet. On the side front yard on Robbins Lane, we're asking for 25.4 feet instead of the required 30 feet. We're asking for a side yard setback of 8.7 instead of the required 10. We're asking for a roof pitch of 4 1/8 instead of 6. And we're asking for a lot coverage variance of 20.83% instead of the required 20%. That's a rather small difference, and really that's attributed to a small 3x12 extension at the front, which would give a little bit more space to that part of the house and to the garage. Other than that, the footprint itself is really the same as what's there today. And this proposed extension or, new dwelling will go straight up other than this 3 foot by 12 foot extension. Our most substantial variance that we're asking for is the gross floor area. Now, it may seem substantial that we're asking for 5,082 square feet where the required is 3,615 square feet. This difference is 1,467 square feet. And to justify this difference, it seems substantial, but I'd like to just note that this includes the basement, which is 1,529 square feet. And as per a recent code change, Basements are now included, I'm sure everyone's aware that basements are included in gross floor area if the height is 6 foot 11 inches. Now, this basement happens to be exactly 7 feet and not an inch less. So therefore, for being 1 inch over on the basement ceiling height, it would put us over, substantially over on this gross floor area coverage. In addition, we're asking the standard variance of encroachments of eaves and gutters. There was also a fence we would like to legalize. The 6-foot-high fence, vinyl and wood, does go across the front yard runs along Robbins Lane, and it is necessary as it provides privacy and also provides full use for the family to use their yard along this area. The fence is set back far enough off Freedom Drive so that there is no clear sight triangle and there is full visibility at the corner. There's also a stop sign there, which also makes it more safer for cars turning off of Freedom Lane into Robbins, so to see around the corner. One more variance we're asking for is to amend specific plans from 1999. There was a prior variance for a fence and for a shed. Those fences and shed have been removed and replaced with the current fence we're asking for a variance for today. The shed is not removed yet, but part of our application is to remove this shed. I do have one letter of consent from the neighbor most affected. This is the neighbor at 5 Freedom Drive. And that concludes my application. If
I'm
there's
just going to take a look at the elevations.
Okay.
How high are the ceilings in the main part of the house?
Okay, give me a moment. Okay, so on the first floor, it's 9 feet ceilings, and on the second floor, it's also 9 feet ceilings, but that's with a tray ceiling.
Because my concern is the roof pitch. That's why particularly in Jericho, the houses are massive. And the roof pitch is allowing that. That's it. Let's see the back. They're 8 feet on top.
How much of the roof is flat, rating the whole thing?
No, it's got, no.
The main pitch is approximately 4 1/8, where the requirement is a 6 pitch.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
For a newer house, 9-foot ceilings are rather standard. And, being like this house, yes, there are houses in Jericho which are massive. Being that this is at the, above the gross floor area, but including with the basement, it's still comparable to these houses that got built with extensions. So this doesn't account for any major extension other than the 3-foot extension in the front just to make the garage a little bit bigger. There's no rear extension, there's no other extensions other than, building straight up and then this 3-foot extension.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is hearing 17, Appeal 23-660, Craig Fuchs at 270 Gramercy Drive, Jericho.
Good evening again.
Oh, it's you again.
Me again, yes.
It's like, go away. No.
Oh, I'm going to be here late
serious.
tonight, so,
Okay, all right. We like you, so that's fine.
Let's go.
All right. Good evening once again. I'm here with my client, Mr. Craig Fuchs. He's the owner of the property located at 270 Gramercy Drive in Jericho. We're asking for a variance for a generator. This area, now he's in West Birchwood. pretty much deep into West Birchwood. There's a lot of larger trees in that area. And with more frequent power outages, delayed response times from the utilities, my client made the decision to invest in a whole house generator. In this case, it's much more than luxury, but more so a necessity for various reasons. There have been 10 power outages over the past 3 years and 6 in 2023 alone. And another issue that he has, there's a high water table in his area. Because of the high water table and flooding in the basement, the pump system that he had installed will not function without power. So that's another reason. So if there's a storm, power outage, you can have flooding in the basement without, electric. So that's another reason that he needs this. He is also a software engineer, works from home 3 days a week. Again, needs reliable power. His wife, Dr. Tasha Fuchs, is on call to handle medical emergencies at all hours of the day or night. So again, another reason to have electric on continuously. And they also, family member uses a CPAP machine and have young children.
Some good.
Okay, so with all these reasons.
You have given a lot of good reasons to
Lot
not
of
turn
good-
this gentleman down.
Yeah, so we're seeking variance to have the generator in the side yard. The requirement is 8 feet. We have 5 feet. It will be screened and it's not visible from the street or any other neighboring property. I would also like to include that my client's closest neighbor, Mr. and Mrs. Alder, has signed a letter of consent.
Good.
Which I'll gladly submit. I'd also want to submit a photo showing my client's house and showing the corner of the neighbor's house, showing that that the neighbor has no windows on that side, and they also have no bedrooms on that side. So it's the side that it's located on, it's on the side that he has his air conditioners, the neighbor has air conditioners, the neighbor's chimney is there. It's in an area that does not affect the neighbors. And one other thing, I do have a report that my client prepared, which outlines all these concerns and reasons to have a generator.
No offense, but he's doing a very good job. I don't need the report.
Yeah, he was my first client that gave me a spreadsheet of all the dates of power outages, and that's in the report.
Oh, wow, okay.
Which he was able to get from his utility bill, which I never knew of before, but now it's something I can request. I feel this variance is not substantial. I appreciate your consideration and request your approval.
Okay.
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission has been notified of this application.
Motion?
Decision.
The public hearing is closed and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
Good night. Good night. Hearing number 18, Appeal 23-636, Kevin Moy at 21 Narcissus Drive, Syosset. I love the street name.
I know, right?
Thank you. Raise your right hand, please. Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings.
I do.
Name and address, please.
Nicholas Capucci, Cappucci. I work with Todd O'Connell Architects, 1200 Veterans Highway, Suite 120, Hauppauge, New York. Good evening. So I'm here today representing Mr. Kevin Moy.
I'm tired.
Representing applicant Kevin Moy, homeowner Kevin Moy, 21 Narcissus Drive, Syosset. We are here today for a variance on maintaining existing structures that were there previously. We went into the town for interior alterations and modifications to the home, and this got brought up. So there's a pool there, in-ground pool that does have a permit. No issues with the pool, but there is a problem with the pool equipment and the location of the equipment. Equipment's in the side yard. We don't have the required 10-foot setback for the side yard, so we're asking for 6.92 feet to the pool equipment for the side yard. And then as well as front yard. Front yard, we need a requirement of 60 feet, and we only have 58.67 feet. As you can see in the photos that I submitted, it is fairly screened
They're very well
and
screened.
it's behind a fence
The
as well.
AC unit here, you're not looking for a variance on that, are you?
We're not looking for the variance on that, but on the denial, it did say that it has to be properly screened and
okay.
everything, so I just
That's
wanted to
standard on
show
all
that.
rejections now, that blurb has been added to all rejections.
I just want to make sure he doesn't
Okay.
need a variance for it, because it's
Good.
not on the,
Yeah, no, it's in the requirement, I just wanted to
Okay.
show that it is
Okay.
properly screened and everything.
I don't want you to have to come back again.
No, I don't. And then there's a fence by the pool. The fence is too close to the pool. The fence is about 4 foot away from the pool edge, where requirement is 5 foot. We do need that fence in there for pool enclosure and pool safety. And the clients do not want to kick it back a foot, so that's why we're
All
here
right.
requesting that.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Hearing number 19, Appeal 23-725, Masoda Mujah at 10 Robert Circle, Syosset.
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
Yes.
Name and address, please.
Scott Tyrone, 75 Albertson Avenue, Albertson, New York, 11507.
Thanks.
So, this is an amendment for a specific plan variance that was granted by this board back on August 17th. Back then, the town had deemed this a new house. The first floor was staying. We were doing a second floor addition. The second floor addition did comply, or is going to comply, with the sections of the code. The existing first floor did not. During construction, when they started construction, the homeowner is here. He'll tell you that they discovered some mold, some termite damage. Without consulting with anyone, the homeowner and contractor decided, take it down, rebuild it. That caused the problem, because it was a specific plan variance. I'd just like to say, when the house is done, there will be no difference. What was approved originally is going back to be approved. We're not changing anything, other than it is going to be...
I have a big question mark on here. I don't know what you did.
Yeah, there's nothing changing from what was approved back in August.
No new windows, no new...
No, everything is going back just the way it was.
Okay.
It's just now, instead of it being existing, it's now not the walls. The actual deck, the foundation, that is all still there.
It happens.
But I do have the homeowner here if anyone has any questions.
No. Anybody have any comments, questions? Anybody wishing to be heard on this? Nobody? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Hearing number 20, Appeal 23-721, Peter Mora at 7 Kathy Court, Glen Head.
This is, so they're... Yep.
Yeah, I was going to hear the next one, too.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay, should I read that? I'll read that in
Yes, please.
conjunction. Hearing, also, this case will be heard also with hearing 21, Appeal 23-722, Marguerite Bardini at 6 Kathy Court, Glen Head.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Good evening, Madam Chairperson, members of the board. My name is Peter Mora. I'm not the applicant. The applicant is my first cousin. I represented him when he bought this property, and we were aware of the pool problem back then. This pool problem exists since 1986. So it was a foreclosure, we needed to close, et cetera, et cetera. So, but we bought it with this problem, knowing what was happening. I'm just going to lay it out first before we lay out everything. So what happened was, it appears that there was an existing fence that had been there probably since the 70s. They measured from the fence instead of assuming the fence was on the lot line, and measured their 10 feet and change out to the pool and dropped the pool in. When a survey was required to get final C of Os, they couldn't possibly get a final C of O, but there was a brand-new pool there, and it's been there ever since. when my client purchased the property, he was aware of the issue, we approached the neighbor, et cetera, and we worked out an arrangement with the neighbor whereby he would pay to, take care of and do either subdivision, it became a lot line adjustment, there were issues with the neighboring property over the years as well, so that was resolved, there was a variance in 2018. That being said, what we're here for is 6 and 7 Cathy Court. And 6 Cathy Court is the neighboring property that is the property of the Bardinis. 7 Cathy Court is the property of Peter and Ronnie Mora. The entire property is in the R110 Residence District Zone. And what we're doing is we're moving 775.52 square feet from 6 Cathy Court to 7 Cathy Court. It's just enough to give us the side yard that we need for the pool. It cuts back in to come to the lot line. That's all it is. So the existing lot, the reason really we're here is that we don't meet the 10,000 square feet once we do that, because we drop 6 Cathy Court to 9,785.43 square feet. So, which is just under the 10,000 square feet required for the R110 zone. If you're familiar with that area, that lot will still be larger than 83% of the lots that are within the 100-foot radius, which you can see. All the lots behind it are between 6,000 and 7,200 square feet. As far as 7 Cathy Court is concerned, there is a gazebo that's been there prior to when even my client purchased it. And we need a 0.8-foot variance on that gazebo because it's 9.2 feet away from the rear yard. Other than that, there will be an amendment, would have to be required an amendment for the specific plan that was approved. I think it's 18-223 was the plans on the Bardini residence. I think they had to come in because they had added awnings and things like that when this application was first coming around. So there really isn't a way we can minimize the variances other than what we've done. To have to remove the pool after all these years would be a great burden on both properties. Ms. Bardini, this is marked for a hardship. She's in the process of selling the home. That's what spurred the speed on this application. At this point, we still have Nassau County Planning Commission after this if this board approves the application. This has been like this for 38 years, so it's very hard to argue that there will be a negative impact on the neighborhood, right? And, and really that's it. We didn't approach any neighbors with, really the only 2 neighbors affected are these 2 that abut each other. So we didn't approach anyone else, although my cousin knows most of the neighborhood, so
Sure.
we both grew up in that area.
Okay.
Any questions?
I have none. Anybody else
Nope.
have any
Nope.
questions? Anybody
Good
wishing to be heard?
Good explanation. It was great.
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination on both.
Motion?
Decision.
Thank you very much.
Public hearings are closed, and the decisions of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Appreciate it. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night.
You too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hearing holdover 1, Appeal 23-561, Sahili Rahman at 3 Hot Street, Bethpage.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board. For the applicant, Tom Abate, I'm an attorney with offices at 88 Sunnyside Boulevard in Plainview. Mrs. Mulligan, strong showing tonight. Well done. I'm going to give you the game ball at the end of the hearings. This application concerns a residential parcel in Bethpage. It's on Ott Street, which is a short dead-end roadway just off of Powell Avenue, so it's just east of the downtown. Ott only has 4 houses on each side, and of those 8 houses, all but 2 are substandard for the R17 zone in which they lie, and the subject premises is no exception. It maintains 5,900 square feet instead of the 7,000, as we all know is required in the R17, and it's owned by my client, Sohili Rahman, who is here with me this evening, now goes by her maiden name, Sohili Ali. And Ms. Ali, she teaches primary school at the Montessori School in Bethpage, and she has 2 children, son and a daughter, who are enrolled in Bethpage schools. This case basically distills down to 2 structures, a rear deck and a roofed-over cellar entrance. And cumulatively, they give rise to the variance relief that we're requesting for you this evening. The easiest one of those that are public notice to dispose of is the excess permitted building coverage for the roofed-over cellar entrance. We're permitted to have 25%. We are at 25.21%. So it's the definition of de minimis. It's less than 1/4%. One of the more substantial variances, however, is that of the rear yard setback for the existing decks. Paramount to your consideration, however, Madam Chairman and members of the board, is the fact that this deck was there when Ms. Ali and her ex-husband purchased the property in 2002. So it's been there for 20 years without causing an adverse impact on the character or value of the neighborhood. Also, it's more than amply buffered from all of our neighbors. I'm going to offer up as my first exhibit a series of 4 photographs over 2 pages. On page 1, you can see the frontage of the house. You can see it's an exquisitely maintained residential parcel. I've included a picture of Ott Street so you can see how short it is. And then on page 2, you can see not only the wooden fence, which we have on all 3 sides separating us from our neighbors, but the substantial evergreen buffer. We have very large and established arborvitaes, which completely screen the neighbors so you can't even see one another. So I offer up these 4 photographs as one exhibit.
The deck is short.
Yeah, it is short. Wow, yeah.
So that's important, that screening is important for our next variance as well, which is side yard setback relief for the roofed-over cellar entrance. As you can see, our neighbor can't even see it, and the deficiency there is also minimal. We're shy of what is otherwise required by less than 18 inches. So again, I proffer to you that that is de minimis. So that leaves us with our GFA relief, and a lot of that is caused by having a substandard lot. But even so, the coverage is really only in excess of about 1/5 of that limited by code. Most significantly, it's caused by the deck. And again, we didn't build the deck. It was there when we bought the house, and it's been there for 20 years without any adverse impact and without any complaint whatsoever. As my second exhibit, I have a series of 7 photographs of 2 pages. The first shows the roofed over, and it really presents as a temporary structure. You'll see that when I hand it up. It's really piping with a canvas cover, that is the roof over the cellar entrance. And the second page of photographs, and Madam Chairman, I took these for you.
Thank you.
You are always very concerned, rightfully so, right, that roofed over cellar entrances give rise to basement apartments. Now, I never go in my client's house, but for you, I made an exception. And what I did is I took a picture of the basement. You're going to see it's not outfitted as an apartment. There's no bedroom, there's no kitchen, there's no cabinetry. It's one big open space. And in the doors here, I actually opened the doors and took pictures of what's behind them. So you can see the HVAC equipment, et cetera. So I offer up these 7 pictures on 2 pages.
What's down there, Michael? You're
What's
taking
that?
his job away.
Yeah, we have a bathroom. Yep, we have a bathroom down there. That's it. Lastly, I have 2 letters of consent. They come from our neighbor directly opposite and our abutting neighbor to the side. We could not, Madam Chairman, members of the board, get a consent for our neighbor on the other side because Mr. Regino just passed away, his funeral Saturday, and so Healy thought it would be wildly inappropriate to go knocking on the door. But I offer up these 2 letters of consent, and that concludes my case.
Anybody else have any questions or concerns?
Rudy, you want that back so they can stay together?
Thank you. Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
I'll sign the game ball, too.
Have a good day. Thank you, Mr.
Good
Bach.
night. Holdover 2, Appeal 23-602, John Mayo at 7 Riverdale Avenue, Massapequa.
It's a flood area, Lois.
It's a family. You know the gold post, the old restaurant?
Yes.
Okay. It's near there. It's that area.
Okay.
Pirates Cove, that
All
old
right.
area. Thank you.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening. Raise your right hand, please. Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Dana Bush, 41 Whittier Avenue, Medford, New York, 11763, representing John Mayo.
Thank you.
We are here tonight. We were here last year, if you don't remember. We're back again. This time, it wasn't caught in some of our plans that we have a 29-foot instead of a 28-foot elevation. When the foundation was poured, the concrete was poured, we had an inspection. The inspector was okay with it, that it was a foot over. He just required a elevation certificate. We got that, we submitted that, he signed off on it, he was okay with it. Made it all the way past, almost to the CO, and we got put back. Then we were told we needed a variance for
And
the
you're doing
foot.
it because it's a flood area there?
Yeah, it was a Hurricane Sandy house.
Right.
So it had to be raised.
Yeah.
I have that in my notes, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, anybody want to be heard on this application? Come on up.
Could you just raise your right hand? Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
I do.
Your name and address, please.
Linda Miller, 4 Riverdale Avenue, Massapequa, New York, 11758.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am here because I am against the application for this variance to allow it to exceed the town's code for height. This homeowner is also a contractor. He's a concrete contractor that specializes in foundations and concrete. He felt very well that this was built above the town code, okay? He
But if it's in a
also,
flood area, we do permit them to go above.
that you do prevent, okay, because last year's variances, he was also denied all his variances for other aspects of this raise, that they were too high. So I have a feeling that this contractor knew full well what he was doing, was trying to get by, and not, hope that it would be past all his variances. His structure now, if you see his highest level of the decking that wraps around this house is just about almost to the roof line of the neighbor directly behind him and the one that abuts his side property. Okay, I live directly across the street. The house is so high, all right? I don't understand why, when they did the inspection, that he was not required to make it to code, but I guess you're saying in a flood area, you're allowed to go higher. So, my
Usually
house
when it's a sandy
is
damage,
directly
it's a
across the
sandy
street.
damage we
It's a new construction home, okay, after Sandy, and the builders, and they stayed in code.
But that's FEMA that tells
You know?
them how high they have to build it.
Right, okay.
Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, so there were a lot of issues with this home. The owner, like I said, is an owner of a contracting company that specializes in foundations. So, and he knows the codes of the town, or he should know the codes of the town for all the other variances that were denied last year. So I am totally against this. He has the home all sectioned out to be rented to various families. That showed in the pictures that I submitted last year for his variances.
Michael,
Okay.
are you seeing apartments in that house? We can only go by the plans that he submits to
Right.
us. If he changes it later on, then it's a
No,
code
last
enforcement issue.
last year, I submitted photographs when we were here that showed that he had the decking all sectioned off on 2
I
levels.
remember it.
Yes, and several doors were installed all over that it made it appear that he is going to be renting the home
And we make him take
to.
that decking down.
No, it's still there.
You denied it.
We didn't.
Everything is there. He made no changes to the structure. There were also 2 kitchens on 2 different levels in that home. And I
He's
brought
got
that
the
to the
plans
attention
right
of the
here.
town.
We wouldn't even be here tonight if there were 2 kitchens on
There are
those
2
plans.
kitchens in that
There are
home.
not 2 kitchens.
I submitted last year photographs showing.
But they're not here now.
Well, you look at the listing on Zillow and Realtor, because he has it back up for rent, and they still are showing 2
All right.
separate kitchens.
Okay. I'm gonna, all right.
And the
Yeah.
decking is still there, everything is still there that he has not done a thing to.
Yeah, we'll send an inspector out.
Yeah,
Okay.
all right. I really request that the town send an
Does he live
inspector.
there?
I live across the
No,
street.
does he live there, I asked?
No, he bought it strictly to
It's a
rent it and/or flip it.
Oh, we can't stop him from flipping it, but.
No, no,
You can't
but
even stop him from renting it as long as you're.
I don't
going to
care if he
one
rents
family.
it, that's not my issue.
Right.
My main bone of contention is if he has it sectioned out for several families to live in, okay? I'm living in a $1 million house, I'm paying over $20,000 a year in taxes,
I hear you.
okay? And I don't want to live across the street
Yeah.
from several families living all in one house that don't belong there,
Okay,
and him getting away with it, you
Okay.
know?
thank you.
Thank you very much, have a nice evening.
Thank you
You
for
too. Thank
coming.
you.
Oh, I have photographs I want to submit also, I'm sorry.
Excellent.
Thank you. You're welcome.
I have answers for all of that.
Okay,
After last year's hearing, we know that we were denied for everything. We had multiple meetings with every plans examiner, Timothy, Zeke, everybody, multiple meetings to try and figure out exactly what decks had to be put back, do we have to apply for the demo permits for it, all of that. So we all came to a conclusion on what had to be cut back because originally there was zoning board hearings in the early 90s allowing for those decks. So the original decks were allowed to stay, just what was added had to leave. That was what was decided. So as we submitted the new plans to show that we were changing all the decks, that's how the elevation got caught. And then we weren't allowed to change the decks until we got the elevation zoning board. We've also had a violations inspector already out to show that is not a second kitchen. It's no sink. He had to remove one sink, everything. I believe his name was Mike, the violations inspector. So he's already been out multiple times. And that was after last year's debacle,
so this board in 2001
Oh, 2001 was when it was the original deckings.
allowed those side decks?
Yes. Damn. So we have to be, so what all the meetings were about with the planning, all the plans examiners and everything, is what sections of the deck had to be removed to show what could stay from the 2001 hearing.
So these two decks on the side here are staying?
Parts of them. Because they were the 2001 plans.
We're going to have to go and look at it.
So, and this is what the house looks like now?
Yes.
So I can see where it was raised, and I can see why.
And then we didn't do the construction to take down the decks yet because we had to come back to the zoning board. So I said, just in case we have another bomb zoning board, let's not start all the construction. Let's wait to see what both say.
So what the neighbor is reporting,
Is all from last year, so.
but she lives across the street. She's
Yes.
saying
So,
that
Michael,
it's-
these decks are not showing on the, they are.
Yeah, they're there, yeah.
Okay.
Well, those are legal decks, right?
They're
Yeah.
legal decks, yeah.
The decking wraps around to the back of the home.
So.
About 80%, 70% of the
Wait,
decks.
you can't speak from the audience. That's
About 70% of the decking is off the 2001 approved zoning board. So what he did is just added things to added little sections of it to make it like kind of wraparound ones. So we have to remove each one of them, and then we had multiple meetings on staircases and heights on staircases, how to get it back down. We've
I
had
mean, if this doesn't look like a two-family house, I don't know what does.
It looks like
This is
it,
a
but it's
horror.
not.
It's disgusting. But they granted it, so there's nothing I can do about that.
He just wants to sell it
Who's gonna buy it?
Well,
It's a
he had
family
bu-
that's gonna come
he
in
had
and put
buyers.
another family in there.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
had
I can see
buyers
why
and we
she's
lost
upset.
them.
That looks terrible.
Unfortunately, it was a state sale. He bought it from the state. He had to raise it, and now the state, they have all their requirements and.
I'm not blaming you.
Yeah, sorry.
But I will say this to you, even though you can't answer me. The minute you see something going on with that house, call the town and have an inspector come and look at it. Okay. Anybody else wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision?
Public hearing is closed and the decision of the board to be forwarded to you by our office. Thank you.
The architect on number 9 is here amongst the results.
Oh, okay.
Should we go to holdover 3, or should I?
Number 9 is here.
Yeah, let's call number 9. Because he did ask
Okay.
if he could be
Oh, okay.
second call.
Hearing 9, Appeal 23-638, Walter Trish at 17 North Brittany Drive, Bethpage.
So choose during these proceedings,
I do.
name and address.
Good evening, members of the board, Madam Chairman. My name is Ashley Lowe from Mark Anthony Architects. Our office is located at 1563 Belmore Avenue in Belmore, New York. First, I'd like to say thank you for accommodating me. I couldn't be in 2 places at once tonight, so I did my best. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am here tonight representing for our client, Mr. Walter Trish, who is the owner and occupant of the subject property located at 17 North Brittany Drive in Bethpage, New York. We are here tonight for multiple variances, as well as amending specific plan 06-399, which was granted on August 31st, 2006. The previously granted pool equipment side yard setback was 4.2 feet. It is now existing at 3 feet, requiring an additional 1.2 feet of relief. Additionally, the previously granted rear yard setback for the shed was 1.1 feet and is now existing at 0.7 feet, requiring an additional 0.4 feet of relief. The existing front masonry stoop and steps do not meet the minimum required average side and front yard setback of 25 feet, having a proposed setback of only 12.68 feet, of which we require 12.32 feet of relief. Lastly, the proposed prefabricated roof over pavilion, as well as the existing front masonry stoops and steps, and the rear masonry stoop exceeds the maximum building coverage allowed of 25%. The proposed building coverage has a minor overage of 25.31%, requiring a variance for 0.31%. The Trish family was looking to update their backyard living space to enjoy more time with the family. That includes our requests. I'm happy to answer any questions at this time.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Holdover 3, Appeal 23-611, Eugene Muldoon, 20 Jacqueline Road, Massapequa.
Still under oath, Dean.
Good evening again. I'm here tonight with Mr. Eugene Muldoon. He's the owner of the house located at 20 Jacqueline Road in Massapequa. This is a unique situation as the property it's an irregular, oversized lot for the area. And the history behind it is that at some point there was another house on the lot to the east. That's where the yard and the pool is. And at some point, as a result of the Route 135 construction, that house was demolished and the remaining property merged with my client's property, forming this oddball-shaped property for that area. This arrangement of the house being demolished well predates my client's ownership. Overall, this property, it all happened years ago when they built the 135. Overall, this is a corner property with 2 corners, one along Emogene Drive and the other along Shawnee Drive. The variances we're seeking are related to legalizing existing fences, legalizing an existing shed, and amending 2 prior variances. The prior variances are for the in-ground pool and one for the porch and other home improvements. The 6-foot fence we're looking to legalize runs along the north and east property lines. Having this fence is what provides privacy and gives my client full use of their yard space. Other than this space, there's no other rear yard or any usable yard space for like outdoor activities and to use the pool. In addition to the 6-foot fence, which encloses that area, the east side of the property line, there is also a 3-foot high fence along Emogene Street, which needs a variance for being over 2'6" in height. This fence is a rather small see-through picket fence, which is more decorative and is only 3 feet high at the post. It's not 3 feet high throughout, and it curves down to 6 foot, 2'6" in the center sections, making the situation, in regards to the 6-foot fence along Shawnee Drive, to make the situation safer, there is a stop sign at that corner, which, stops cars so they could, have a moment to see if anybody is coming. And the fences, as existed, as for my client, they existed for more than 25 years as they are today. The shed is approximately 10 by 12 feet. It leaves setbacks of 4 foot and 6 foot from the front property line, and leaves a setback of 1.1 feet to the neighbor's property line. It is located in an irregularly shaped corner of the property. It is out of the way and provides my client with full use of the yard and shed. There are no neighbors along Shawnee Drive where the shed is located. It doesn't affect any neighbors. It faces the 135, which is right there. The shed backs up to his neighbor's shed, so even though it's only a foot from the neighbor's property line, the neighbor has their shed right in that location as well. So it doesn't have any negative effect to the neighbor. My client did discuss these variances with some of his neighbors, and we have the letters of consent from five of the surrounding neighbors. We feel this variance is not substantial. Kindly request the board's approval.
Did you happen to see this fence though?
This one? Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah?
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
Yes, it doesn't cause a,
Okay,
that's the only
my
thing I'm
concern.
concerned about.
Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision?
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you.
Hearing number 4, Appeal 23-629, Giatom Properties,
This is going to
which
be
will be
long. Do you want
heard
to take a
with...
quick break? It's 5 to 9, it's up to you, but
Yeah.
this is the,
She doesn't want to take a break.
Well, do you want to take 6?
It's up to the
You want to take
stenographer.
6 before? That's,
Let's take a little break, okay?
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Why don't we,
Hey.
yeah, you want to do, yeah,
Rita, do you want to do 6 first? That's the only other one
but
left.
that letter that, yeah.
All right. Do you mind, Judith?
Bogdanos. It's a-
All right, so
Yeah.
let's
Right?
do holdover number 6.
Appeal 23-596, John Bogdanos at
Does that make
191
Yes, it does.
West
This is
Nicolai
right
Street,
there.
that makes it
The
Hicksville.
sun's
Is he here?
yes,
Yeah.
Helen's there, she was.
Let's go, Helen.
Come on.
Come on,
Hold over 6.
I'm calling you up, let's go.
I
just wanna know what's
Just a couple minutes break for Holly, is that okay? Just a short one. Just a short one after this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, after,
Oh,
yeah.
I gotta go. I need a break.
We were
We're
about to take
holdover
a,
number 6.
yeah, we were about to take a break,
Gotta
but we're
get you out
giving
of
you
the
a
way,
break. We're letting you
because the next
go.
one's gonna be longer.
So you go.
I
Helen.
appreciate
And
that.
you're still,
I didn't know that. I'm
you're
sorry.
still, it's okay, you're still under oath.
Helen can give up, right?
All right.
She's not. I don't know.
Because you got
She
yelled
hired
at.
him.
Oh, God.
Good evening once again, and this will be the last time tonight you'll be seeing me. But I appreciate that the board took us out of order as the
You'll
next
be
one's
sitting here a
long.
long time.
Yeah, the quick one.
Before I begin, please understand, this particular case, my only involvement in this case is really to help and assist in this presentation. As you all know, I've spoken before this board many times for both propose and maintain work. I've had a long career doing this type of work and, trying to help, both the public and the town in resolving various permits and variance issues. I'm not really looking to, I'm not looking to promote work without permits or circumvent the rules of town of Oyster Bay. I'm here this evening together with Mr. John Bogdanos. He's the owner of the house, and his mother, Mrs. Helen Bogdanos. So we all know, Helen has spoken here numerous times before. And this case is a rather difficult one for me to present, as I'm here assisting my longtime coworker and mentor, Helen, in trying to get a variance for somewhat of a self-created hardship. I cannot deny the fact that this work was done without proper permits or variance. I did attend the prior variance, which we came in here, which was previously denied. And there were certain points brought up, mostly concerning with work that we're doing work without permits and holding us as professionals to a higher standard when it comes to situations like this. Helen and her son understand, and they're fully aware that it was not the right thing to do at the time. They did receive court summonses for doing this work, and they had to pay fines as a result of this work. So we're back here tonight for a second time, looking for forgiveness and consideration in granting this variance. The variance is for a front addition to the house. The addition is approximately 12 feet by 24 to the house, leaving a setback of 18.58 feet to the addition and 15.8 feet to the steps and portico. And just so you all know, the portico is not constructed yet. If we were to get this granted, then the construction of the portico would commence. The average setback is 27.84 feet, and it's a difference of approximately 9 feet. To justify this difference, I'd like to show you and I will submit, I have an aerial photo of this, of the neighborhood showing the house. Now, the subject property is highlighted, and that aerial photo is a recent aerial photo, which does include our addition. What throws off the average is the one house immediately to the west has a setback of approximately 60 feet. This house, this throws off the average, and our subject property is not out of character with the neighborhood, as the other houses to the west of the property are essentially in line with our existing house and have setbacks of 15 to 20 feet. So in essence, if you go further west, the houses, especially the ones immediately to the west, has a 60-foot setback. The ones to the east are all much closer to the front property line. So therefore, we're in line with those houses. It's not that substantial of a variance that we're asking for. In addition to the front addition, there's a small variance to legalize an existing shed. The shed has a setback of 1.8 feet instead of 3 feet. The shed was existing from prior to Mr. Bogdanos purchasing the property. With the exception of this work, this variance being self-created, they comply essentially with all the other 5 points required to come and request a variance. It complies with all other zoning ordinances, lot coverage, floor area, side yard, and rear yard setbacks. The property was substantially improved both on the interior and exterior since he purchased the house. Initially, the intentions were to renovate the house without this extension and renovate the previously porch which was there. However, during this porch, renovation, it was discovered that there was substantial termite damage and, foundation work that needed to be done. The front was already off the house. It just made sense for them to move forward with the construction at the time. Otherwise, the hardship would have been the house would have been boarded up for, an indefinite amount of time until they went ahead and got these variances and permits. And I'll show you, I do have a picture here of what happened, what was exposed once they took, once they started taking off the front porch. It was substantial damage which had to be repaired, and it couldn't be left like that or just covered up, which was done by a prior owner when they put the siding on it. It was obviously that it was just covered up for many years. One comment which I took note of at the last hearing is a board member had a concern of a side door which led to the interior basement stairs. These new plans that are filed do show that door being removed, and there is no door leading to there's no direct access to the basement from the exterior. The basement is currently unfinished, and there is no plans to finish it at this time. I have also one letter of consent from the neighbor. This is the neighbor to the west. The other houses in that immediate area are rental houses, so we didn't, I don't believe there's any objection from any of the renters, but Mrs. Bogdanos and her son, they decided that is the only, the abutting property is the only one that's owner occupied, and they requested, and he was able to sign a consent letter. We feel this variance is not substantial. We feel the work improves the neighborhood, improves the look of the house, and we kindly request your approval.
So the difference between this application, if I understand correctly, and the last one that we denied, is the removal of the side door that goes down to the basement?
That's correct.
And that's the difference? That's how you were able to come back in less than a year?
That was correct.
All right. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Anybody wishing to be heard on this application? Correspondence?
Nassau County Planning Commission recommends local determination.
Motion?
Decision.
Public hearing is closed, and the decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office. And we're going to take a break.
Me too. The mailers. Yeah. To wake up.
Long day, right? That's right. Yeah. It's a lot.
Don't complain about it. That's
I know, that's why I'm like, I'm gonna wait once he gets the jail sentence and drop to like 50 bucks, and I'll get it from my buddy as a joke. Hey, Rich, happy birthday from George Santos. It's like, what kind of disaster is that? And it is, right? Yeah. It's hard to give an explanation.
With school breaks?
Yeah. Just when you thought you were safe, yeah.
Judy. Judy's here.
They said it's not on the plan, so.
It's nice.
If it had two kitchens, it'd
Try it. It's beautiful. Yeah. Try her.
What happened to all those people in the back? Chase them out?
We're not that lucky, you know?
I'm gonna make them all move
They're
to the
drinking
front.
energy drinks.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Attract more people.
I hope not.
What are you gonna do?
Could be this, but yeah, they said no, they don't have it on the phone. We did something special.
London.
No, if she.
Oh, she's still in the
Inside, unless she saw it.
She travels.
She does. I'm going to Alaska.
Are you? Doing like, the.
cruise.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really cool.
My
in-laws did
parents
that.
loved it.
Yeah,
They
my
loved
in-laws
it.
too. Said it's
It's
like.
the only cruise I'll, I won't go on a cruise. I have no desire to hate it. I did it twice.
Try to get the Legionnaires' disease.
But there's nowhere, but if you're gonna see Alaska, it's like,
Yeah, what are you
people
gonna
don't
do?
understand. There's no
Fly in.
hotels, there's no roads,
Yeah, yeah,
there's no
yeah.
nothing.
And it's supposed to be beautiful. That, you know, the scenery and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, you can get good food, right? You can
Yeah,
think other things.
yeah, you're not gonna get that in Alaska either.
No.
I don't stop it.
That's like a lot of these locations, like, it's 17 hours, you get there and you're like, okay, I saw the, damn, now I gotta drive back 18 hours, right?
When
Like-
we went to Ireland, we at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know, we got there, we got a car, we just started going where we were going, and then we were hungry. You can't get anything to eat
Yeah.
at 3 o'clock in the afternoon there.
Like,
It's not lunchtime
Where's that?
in Ireland.
listen,
Very,
don't,
yeah, very,
don't
we were
be
in the
starting
country.
that stuff that if, you know, I know if you're in Italy, they'd feed you, I know how this ends
I'm
up.
just saying, all I could get was a ham sandwich. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, anytime you want.
I know
It's
how
the
this
food they
story
make,
ends.
24/7 the beer was available.
it's the food they make you suffer for.
I've been hearing this story for years at town hall, I know how this one goes.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm done. Best Chinese food I ever ate was in Ireland.
Oh, really?
No more for me, thank you, though.
Thank you, Holly.
Holly, you are too good to us. We have.
My dentist loves you.
Okay. All righty.
All right, we got candy, we can go. We can go now.
Let's go. Okay, want to read it, call it off?
Call it off.
Okay, hearing number 4, appeal.
Sorry.
Oh, holdover, I'm sorry, holdover number 4, thank you. Appeal 23-629, G and Tom Properties at 101 Clarks Boulevard, Massapequa, which will be heard in conjunction with holdover number 5, Appeal 23-632, G and Tom Properties, 101 Clarks Boulevard, Massapequa.
This is like church, everybody move to the front. I like
And I
it.
brought my own candy because the
Okay.
stenographer didn't give me any. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. Judy Simoncic with the firm of Vercelli, Deegan, Tirana, with offices at 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard in Uniondale, appearing on behalf of the applicant Geotown Properties. With me this evening is George Zenos, principal of Geotown Properties, Mike Lynch of Lynch Appraisals, our real estate appraiser, and Mike Rant, the applicant's engineer. And they will all be, except for the applicant, addressing the board this evening. Before I start, I want to hand up an aerial of the subject property and the surrounding neighborhood, just to give the board a little context. The subject premises is known as 101 Clarks Boulevard in Massapequa. It's within the town of Oyster Bay and within the Amityville School District. This board is very familiar with Clarks Boulevard and its recent revitalization. There are many old homes on oversized lots that have gone into disrepair and are unable to be renovated, and their owners have sought to subdivide rather than build one large house that would be out of character within the neighborhood. For example, 510 Clarks Boulevard, which is a 15,000 square foot lot, was recently granted variances to allow for 2 homes to be built on the property. That home was actually a zombie home that the town was forced to demolish because it was in such disrepair. There are many others that have come before this board for variances of lot width and area to allow for subdivision of oversized lots into 2 parcels. so that 2 new homes can be constructed. These new homes improve the area and only increase property values of the surrounding properties, as you will hear Mr. Lynch testify to later in our presentation. Mr. Lynch is also going to present research and testimony regarding 510 Clocks Boulevard and other undersized lots that exist in the immediate area. As you can see on the aerial, the subject property is simply an oversized lot with 17,000 square feet where 10,000 feet is required. We're in the R110 zoning district. The property has an old, run-down, one-story brick-built dwelling that was constructed in 1916 and has been vacant for over 10 years. As you can see on the aerial that I handed up, the subject property is located at the far southern end of Clocks Boulevard, and it's basically on its own peninsula along Clocks. It's a corner parcel with 100 feet of frontage on Clocks Boulevard and 170 feet of frontage on Bayview Place. The applicant purchased this property in 2020 with the intent to subdivide it into 2 lots, knowing this house, which went through Superstorm Sandy, could not be renovated or saved, and building 1 large home would be completely out of character with the neighborhood and thus difficult to sell. We're here tonight seeking variances to permit the subdivision of the property into 2 lots of equal size and construction of 2 modest-sized homes. Now, before I get into the proposal and the variances and have Mr. Lynch and Mr. Rant testify, I want to give a little background on this application and how the plans for this subdivision and proposed construction have evolved to the plans that are before the board this evening. This is a case that's been pending for over a year. We filed our initial application with the zoning board in December of 2022. Since the existing home faced Bayview Place, the applicant submitted plans to subdivide, with the homes naturally being also facing on Bayview Place. Immediately upon filing the application in January of 2023, the applicant began outreach with the neighbors. In addition to the outreach that the applicant had made, I personally wrote a letter to every neighbor within 100 feet of this property, sending them the plans, the proposed subdivision map, and asking them to contact me with any concerns. I also offered to meet them via Zoom and in person. And I wanted to submit for the record just a copy of my letters to each of the neighbors. So the letters were sent to all the neighbors within 100 feet of the subject property. I had only heard at that time from 5 neighbors on Clocks Boulevard, and I believe they're all here this evening. They wrote me a letter, which they also sent to the town, essentially objecting to the proposed subdivision and specifically to the fact that the lots would have access off Bayview Place. In the ensuing months, based on conversations that Mr. Zenos had with some of the neighbors, we learned that in addition to the access issue, the neighbors also had issue with the proposed detached garages on each of the lots and the size of the homes. They believed the homes were too large at that time. The homes were 3,500 square feet. The plan as proposed at that time also needed lot area, lot coverage variances, and lot building area variances. So upon learning these concerns, and again, this goes back to the early 2023, the applicant went to great lengths to address each and every concern. The applicant went back to the drawing board with his architect and the engineer and essentially redesigned the entire project. He spent a lot of time and money revising the plans. What he did was eliminate the detached garages and instead created attached garages for each of the dwellings. We expanded the driveways. The proposal before the board this evening provides for 3 off-street parking spaces, which includes an attached garage. We reoriented the houses from Bayview Place to Clocks Boulevard. And additionally, we reduced the size of the proposed homes from 3,500 square feet to 2,500 square feet. So those were very substantial modifications that we made in response to the concerns. Once we revised the plans, we submitted them to the town in September of last year. The plans were reviewed by a plan examiner, and we were received shortly thereafter. Notice of amended rejections were issued. As a result of these changes, as I indicated, we were able to eliminate the lot coverage variance for each of the lots, the gross floor area variances for both dwellings, and then the setback requirements for the garages that were objectionable to the neighbors. In addition to reorienting the homes to have access on Clocks Boulevard, we also were given then the ability to make the lots equal. So now we have 2 equal lots of 8,500 square feet as opposed to 1 lot, which was 8,000 square feet, and another that was 9. So we have 2 equal lots at this point in time. So continuing with the discussions and the process, in November, we were advised that the application was going to be scheduled for a public hearing on December 14th. At that time, we again immediately contacted and started to reach out with the neighbors. We actually contacted the Breezy Point Civic Association. An attorney in my office emailed and spoke with John Delaney of the Civic Association and one of the neighbors, Carla Smith. After speaking with the civics for several weeks, we were asked to attend a meeting on January 11th of this year. So to accommodate the neighbors, we obviously adjourned. We requested an adjournment of the hearing in December, and we sent similarly letters to each of the neighbors advising that we are going to be adjourning to give them an opportunity to review the plans and to actually meet with them. We advised them that we'd be having a neighbor meeting that was set up by the Breezy Point Civic Association at Marjorie Post Park on January 11th. So that all occurred. And again, we had that meeting just last week with all the residents of Bayview Avenue. They all attended, and I believe they were here this evening. And even though the applicant truly bent over backwards to address all the concerns in modifying these plans that are before you tonight, we were essentially advised that they just don't want another house on the property. So they want it to continue to be a vacant building that's dilapidated, an eyesore, and really should be demolished, and the property should be improved. So in terms of outreach, all of the neighbors have been advised, and they were involved in the application process, which spanned over a year. And the reason why I'm giving you all this background, and I apologize for that, is yesterday I received a request from an attorney who represents one of the neighbors who we had been reaching out to and sending letters to, asking that the case be adjourned, that they wanted more time to consider the application, and we feel respectfully, I declined the request to adjourn because we had been working with the very same neighbors. One of them did retain an attorney. We've been working with them for over a year. So really, given the efforts we made and the lengths we've gone, we had to decline the request to adjourn. So we're here tonight. And again, I apologize for going through all of that background, but I think it's important for the board to understand. The board always asks, do you have consents? Have you talked to your neighbors? We really went above and beyond. This was tremendous outreach that we did, and we really tried and made strides and efforts to address the concerns. And we believe the plan that's before the board tonight is a better plan, and we're hopeful that we will be successful this evening. So with that said, just a brief overview of the houses themselves. We're proposing to construct two beautiful traditional colonials that fit squarely within the existing character of the neighborhood. They will be on 50-foot wide lots, and you're going to see when Mr. Lynch testifies and submits his evidence to the board that all of the lots, and you could probably see it on the aerial that I submitted, all the lots on the west side of Clocks Boulevard are 50-foot wide. So 50-foot lots clearly are the established character in this neighborhood. So we're gonna show you that and talk more about it. As I indicated, the homes are approximately 2,500 square feet. In fact, there's only about 2,300 gross square feet of gross living area. So these are not homes. These are very modest homes. They don't have basements, so there's no opportunity for illegal apartments, no issue with that. And at this point, what I want to do is have Mike Rant address the board and walk the board through the plans and talk specifically about the proposed homes and the layout of the subdivision. Mike?
Still Church on this proceedings?
I do.
Your name and address, please.
Michael Rant, North Coast Civil, 39 West Main Street, Oyster Bay, New York, 11771. Good evening, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. My name is Michael Rant. I'm an engineer from North Coast Civil, and we're representing the owners seeking approval to subdivide the lot. As Ms. Simoncic had mentioned, she's really gone through the history of the application and how we've gotten to where we are today. We played a big role in making the modifications that we feel is a better application before this board. I'll go through the variances. So this is a 17,000 square foot lot in an R110 zone that we're splitting into two 8,500 square foot lots. So we need a variance for our lot size. The lots itself are positioned towards Clocks Boulevard. They front on Clocks Boulevard, and they each have a width of 50 feet. And again, as mentioned, this is in character with many of the properties, most of the properties towards the north. So we feel this is in character with what's currently on the street. The variances that are also being sought have to do with the average front yard setback. Parcel A is the parcel to the north, which fronts solely on Clocks Boulevard. Many of the homes to the north are set substantially back from the required setback. The zone requires a 30-foot setback. The average front yard setback for the lots on Clocks is 62.2, which would substantially push the houses further back. We also are seeking side yard setback variances for these homes. Again, this is a 50-foot wide lot. Many of the homes to the north, including the neighbor directly to the north, do not comply with the minimum side yard setbacks. We're proposing an 8-foot and a 12-foot setback on each side for an aggregate of 20 feet. The home directly to the north has a 3-foot setback to the side property line. So again, many of the homes, they're on narrow lots, they are wider homes, and we feel that we've made every effort we could to minimize the side yard setback variances, and they are greater than many of the other homes in this area. As far as our lot coverage, as mentioned, we are reducing our lot coverage from the initial plans, and we are not seeking any lot coverage variances, so both homes do comply. The driveways themselves are being located 8 feet from the side yard versus the required 10 feet. And again, it's not uncommon, many of the homes to the north have driveways that straddle or right next to the property line with a 0-foot setback. So again, I think we're farther in compliance with many of the homes in the area. Those are the variances that are being sought for Parcel A. Parcel B requires variances because it is the corner lot on Clocks Boulevard and Bayview Place. It does have 2 front yards. On Bayview Place, there is only one other lot on the north side. It is a structure that was actually part of this lot at one time, and it's set back substantially far from Bayview Place, so it has a setback of 48.6 feet. So it really skews our front yard setback on a corner lot. This would be the side of our house, and we're proposing an 8-foot setback to that home. And again, it's because of the unique location of the property to the west that really skews our average front yard setback. This lot, again, also requires variances for lot width and setback to the proposed driveway. And those are the variances that are being sought. I would like to briefly go through some of the technical aspects of the property. So we are proposing 2 single-family dwellings. Each house would have a footprint of 1,312.5 square feet with a combined footprint area of both lots of 2625 square feet. This combined area of both homes is actually less than the existing single-family dwelling that's on the property. So we're not creating any excess coverage of the building. We're actually slightly reducing the square footage by about 20 square feet, but still, the 2 homes combined together are less than what's there currently. We're also bringing both properties up to the current standards of FEMA requirements. We are in an AE7 zone. The current home does not comply with FEMA requirements and has a first floor of elevation 5.93, so below the base flood elevation. Both of our homes would be fully FEMA compliant. Again, a benefit to the neighborhood to have homes that comply with the FEMA requirements, and they will be elevated to an elevation of 9.1, the minimum 2 feet above the base flood elevation. The homes comply with height. They are, again, modest-sized homes in character with the neighborhood, and I think the fact that many of the lots in the area do not comply with the minimum width, and we are complying with the same 50-foot width, it does not create any adverse impact or a detriment to the community. Any technical questions regarding the site, I'd be happy to answer them, or we can move on to the Michael Lynch, his testimony.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Lynch address the board. Mr. Lynch has appeared before this board on many, many occasions over many years, and I would ask the board to recognize him as a real estate expert in his field.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could just swear you in.
Certainly.
Promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
Yes.
Your name and address, please.
Certainly. It's Michael Lynch, 15 Dewey Street, Huntington, New York. I'm here as the real estate expert on this matter. And as Ms. Simoncic indicated, I've appeared many times before this board. Before I get started, I'd just like to hand in the exhibits that I've prepared. Judy, did you? First, I'd like to hand in a panel of photographs that I took of the subject property and the immediate surrounding area. I have 7 copies.
Thank you.
Also, I also have from multiple listings, I have the house that's sold to the north of us at 115. We have a bird's eye aerial view that really gives you the flavor for the immediate area of the subject property. I'd like to hand those in.
Okay. Are there repetitive, Mike, just all the same?
Yes, they're all the same.
Okay.
I have a markup of the 100-foot radius that I'd like to submit, and I have a Nassau County GIS aerial photograph that I've marked up showing all the nonconformity in the immediate neighborhood. And then lastly, I prepared a chart of the immediate properties on Clocks and Bayview Place East. And just again, a brief abstract of those properties that either received ZBA relief or are substandard, just based on tax map observations, et cetera, and surveys that were found within the township. Okay, so as described, this property is known as 101 Clocks Boulevard. It's in the East Massapequa section of Massapequa in the Amityville School District. It's located at the, this community is located at the southerly terminus of Clocks Boulevard on a peninsula known as the Breezy Point. The filed map going back to the early 1900s, with the map area was known as Breezy Point. It's an older area. As described, the lot, the subject of this application is a 17,000 square foot overall lot. It has 100 feet of frontage on Clocks Boulevard and 170 feet of frontage on Bayview Place East. The house is a ranch house according to the Nassau County assessment that was built in the 1920s or teens. It has a footprint of approximately 2,500 square feet. As Mr. Rant indicated, the proposed footprints of both of our proposed new homes will actually be less than the existing footprint that the current house presently sits on. The area is R110 zone, of course. We're seeking variances, as Ms. Simoncic and Mr. Rand pointed out, with respect to lot area. We're proposing 8,500 square feet for each lot. Both of the lots would front on Clocks Boulevard. They would be oriented towards Clocks Boulevard. The corner street, which is known as Bayview Place East, would be the side yard for this, or the front yard. So technically for Lot B, we'd have 2 front yards. We require relief for front yards, as Mr. Rand pointed out, and our side yards for parcel A would be 8 and 12 feet, and our relief we would need for aggregate side yards would be 20 feet. We also need a minor setback for the driveway. The proposed homes would be relatively modest colonials. There would be no basement because of the FEMA requirements with respect to the foundation. They'd have 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a gross living area of approximately 2,300 square feet, a 1-car garage, and they would have a driveway areas that would accommodate at least 2 cars, so therefore, off-street parking for each residence would be for 3 cars minimum. And there is no parking on Clocks or Bayview Place East, so that's a big concern, I know, to the neighbors. At this point, I'd like to go through the photographs and the exhibits that I prepared. First, we'll go through the radius map. This is a 100-foot radius. I've crossed out in red markings the substandard lots within the 100-foot radius. And as I'll point out with my next exhibit, you'll see the lots to the north, and in this instance, in the 100-foot radius, there's 2 50-foot lots to our north that, of course, are substandard with respect to width. They're 13,500 square foot overall areas. Lot to our northwest, on the easterly side of Clocks, is substandard with respect to its width at 63 feet. And then the houses to our south, on the south side of Bayview Place East, 4 out of the 5 lots there are substandard with respect to not only lot area, but lot width. If we move to the Nassau County GIS aerial, that's also over here to my right, what I did in this exhibit is I highlighted firstly all the lots up and down Clocks Boulevard within a reasonable radius of approximately 600 feet down to Bayview Place. And as you can see, as Mr. Monsick pointed out, the character of this particular area of Clocks Boulevard, the westerly portion is largely comprised of these 50-foot lots. There's 9 lots immediately to the north of the subject property on the westerly side of Clocks. Those are all 50-foot lot widths. To the south of us on Bayview Place east rather, we've got number 1, Bayview Place East. That's in my panel of photographs that we'll get into a bit later. But that's a house that's on a 0.12 acre lot, which is, of course, less than the subject proposed lots, which are 0.2 acres each. There's a smaller ranch on that house that was built in 2010 with relief from this board. I believe it was a house that was rebuilt. Number 5, 7, and number 99 Clocks, number 5 Bayview Place East, is a 40-foot wide lot. Again, I'll get into when I go through the panel photographs. That has a 2,652 square foot house, a lot area of 0.17. Number 7 Bayview is a 50-foot lot with a lot area of 0.19 acres, 1,800 square foot house. And the corner lot of Bayview Place East and Clocks Boulevard, otherwise known as 99 Clocks Boulevard, has a Cape-style house with a 2,043 square foot house and a lot area of 0.15. But in this display here, you can see that the pattern of the existing pattern of development up and down in this section, this peninsula section of Clocks Boulevard, On the westerly side of where the subject lots are, to the north, you can see the established widths of those lots. There's 9 lots to the north of us, and then to the south of us on Bayview Place East, you have 2 40-foot lots, a 50-foot lot, a 60-foot lot, and a conforming 80-foot lot. Also, within those 4 lots, they're also deficient with respect to lot area. I'd like to go through the photographs now. The first, let's see, the first 9 photographs are of the existing structure on the property and various views of the lot from both Clocks Boulevard and Bayview Place East. You can see the house is in a neglected state. It was damaged, from what I understand, back by Sandy, and then it was bank-owned, so it's had a real tortured history over the past 15 years or so. And again, from what I understand, I didn't venture into the house, but from what I understand, it's inhabitable. So certainly it's not a blight, it's a positive to the neighborhood. But these photographs were taken by me last week. I've also got views of Clocks Boulevard looking north, Clocks Boulevard, Bayview Place East looking west, with the subject property to the right. Photograph 12, there's a view of Bayview Place East looking east. There's a question of whether or not this is a private right-of-way. I note in the decision on number 1 Bayview Place East that the town noted that Bayview Place East is a town road. So there's a sign as you enter that it's a private right-of-way. Again, I haven't seen a clear indication of whether it's town-owned or privately owned, but the town ZBA decision in 2010 indicated that it was a town road. And I'm going to hand those decisions in momentarily. So I'd like to go through just those lots firstly to the south on Bayview Place East. So number 1 Bayview Place East was the subject of a zoning board application back in 2010. And that property, again, is a substandard lot with respect to its width. It's 40 feet in width. It's substandard with respect to its lot area. It's 0.12 acres. The property, from what I understand, was completely rebuilt. Aerial photography shows that the house was completely demolished and rebuilt sometime in the early 2010-2011 time period, which would correspond with the zoning board variance. They received relief for front yard of 28 feet, side yard of 4.5 feet on the east side, side yard of 9.19 feet on the west side of the dwelling, a side yard variance of 4.19 feet for the roofed-over area for the steps, aggregate side yard of 8.69 feet, building coverage of 23.12%, 0 street frontage. So again, I don't know how that enters into the variance back then, but again, the town indicated that it was a town road. So there's a question of whether it was whether it's a privately held road or publicly owned. Those are also outlined in the abstracts I have for all the various lots. So I'd like to I'll hand all these decisions in when I go through them. So we have number 5, Bayview Place East. That's just south of the subject property. It's actually directly opposite. That received relief back in 1991 for side yards, aggregate side yards, encroachments, and side gutters. let's just orient this to the photographs, my chart of photographs. So just to back up a moment, number one, Bayview Place is depicted in photo 14. And again, there I described the various variances that were necessary for the rebuilding of that house. If we go to photo 15, we have number 5 Bayview Place. And that received relief back in '91 for side yards, aggregate side yards, encroachment of eaves and gutters. Again, that was another house that was rebuilt, I believe, due to destruction from Sandy. In photo 16, we have another house directly opposite the property at number 7 Bayview Place. Could not find any variance relief on that. I believe that house may have also been damaged during Sandy. However, it's a 50-foot width, it's a .1 acre of lot area. The survey on record within the town building department indicates that it has a side yard of 1.94 feet. Again, other than substandard lot area and lot width of 40 feet, that's all I have on that property. Moving along to the corner house at the corner of Bayview Place East and Clocks Boulevard, otherwise known as 99 Clocks, that's in photo 17. That's also a substandard lot of 60 feet of width, substandard lot area of .15 acre of lot area. Survey on record shows a side yard of 7 feet. Now, moving on to Clocks Boulevard, the house immediately to the north of us, that's known as number 115 Clocks Boulevard. That house actually just recently sold. It's a very nice house. It's known as 115 Clocks Boulevard. The zoning board relief was granted back in 2020 for side yards and aggregate side yards for utility room, rear deck, etc. I actually have another photo of the side showing the side yard, the nonconformity of the side yards in that property from the subject. Let me find that photograph. Okay, if you look at photo 9, you can see number 115, Clocks Boulevard. The setback to that overhang, according to the ZBA decision as well as surveys on record show, it's as little as 1.5 feet for that overhang. Otherwise, it's, the decision indicated a side yard of 1.5 feet, aggregate 22.4 feet. As you'll read through the decisions, there's other variances that were granted for a deck and a shed, et cetera, and I'll submit those decisions. But those were the most important in the immediate area with respect to variances. I'd like to just submit those. In Bayview Place East, number 1 Bayview Place, number 5 Bayview Place. And then I also have some surveys with respect to the other properties. Okay, so I have the ZBA decision for 1 Bayview Place East, that was from 2010. I have the ZBA decision, number 5 Bayview, and that was back in 1984. And then I have surveys on record showing number 7 Bayview Place, again, with respect to the lot area, lot width, and side yards, and number 99 Clocks Boulevard, which is on the corner of Bayview Place East, showing the lot area, the substandard lot area, lot width, and the side yards.
Thank you. Welcome.
And I know Ms. Simoncic talked about some recent decisions on Clocks Boulevard. Further up, just one of the decisions was recent. It was just south of Merrick Road at 510 Clocks Boulevard. That was for within an R110 zone. It was variance relief for a two-lot subdivision. Each lot would have 60 feet of frontage and lot areas of 7,500 square feet plus or minus. And that decision just came down in this past November, and that's known as 510 Clocks Boulevard. Parcel A and Parcel B, I have a decision for both. And then there was when was 7? 2 weeks ago, there was an application here for 710 Clocks Boulevard, which is just north of Merrick Road on Clocks, also within an R110 zone. In that application, there was a request for two 50-foot wide lots. I don't have the actual decision. I don't believe it's out yet, but I have a copy of the site plan showing each proposed lot, as well as the width and the lot areas. Now, with respect to property values and the anticipated sale price of these two colonials, again, there'll be roughly 2,300 square feet of gross living area, about 2,500 square feet of gross building area, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, no garage, no basement again, so there's no concern over illegally occupied basements. Right now, with respect to the off-street parking, again, there's no parking in the area allowed on the streets, so the plan here is to each of these lots will accommodate at least 3 cars. So again, which I'm sure is welcome news to the neighbors. So they won't be overburdening either Bayview Place or Clocks Boulevard. The median sale price over the last 3 years in this section of East Massapequa within the Amityville School District, according to public record, is approximately $620,000. That includes, again, existing homes, whatever new construction may have sold, et cetera. The anticipated sale price of each of these homes will be conservatively $850,000, based on what other newer homes. There haven't been really many new homes in this section of East Massapequa, but north of Merrick, again, within the Amityville School District, based on sales there, and then considering for location adjustment for being down near the water, I would anticipate that, again, conservatively, that each of these new homes would sell for a minimum of $850,000. So given the median sale price in the area is, again, around $620,000, the house immediately to the north just recently sold for, I believe it was $787,000, which is the home we talked about at 115 Clocks Boulevard that received relief. So again, from a property value standpoint, we're orientating these homes towards Clocks Boulevard. They will not have driveways out to Bayview Place East. The widths of them are perfectly in keeping with the pattern of development up and down Clocks Boulevard, as well as those lots opposite to the south on Bayview Place East, as I've demonstrated. So certainly from a character standpoint, they will be in keeping. And with respect to property values, again, it's only going to help to raise the median sale price in the area. Other than that, I can answer any questions the board may have any.
Anybody have any questions? Did a great job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll defer to speak, if I may, after the neighbors speak, if they...
Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to open it up to everybody who wants to speak on this application. Everybody who wants to speak can come forward and be sworn in. And the same instructions, if the person in front of you says everything that you're thinking, just say, "I agree," and you'll be on the record.
If you would all just raise your right hand, please. You all promise to tell the truth during these proceedings?
I do.
Thank you. And just put your name and address on the record before you speak. Thank you.
My name is Gregory Lukowicz. I live at 115 Clocks Boulevard. Good evening, everyone.
We talked about your house.
Yes. I just want to make a point. I bought that house after their first conversation in 2022. So I had no regard to that part.
Okay.
All right. As adjoining neighbors directly affected by this application, we must state our objections. We understand that the zoning board must weigh the benefit up to the application versus the detriment to the neighborhood. The benefit to the applicant is strictly financial. It is to obtain a greater return on an investment by squeezing 2 homes on the remaining lot of a property that was already subdivided, in a manner that's inconsistent with the neighborhood lots, which are narrow but are very, very deep. The detriment to the surrounding homes is clear. The new homes will be 2 1/2 stories high, with a first floor of 7 feet above grade to meet FEMA's flood elevation requirements. This will create a shadow effect blocking air and light to our homes. It will result in overcrowding. As any existing structure will be raised, the applicant has a clean palette to work with. We understand that you have a 5-point balance test to evaluate these applications. How substantial the variation is in relations to requirement. The requests are substantial in lot size, lot width at front property line, lot width of lot from front property line to required rear yard, average front yard setback, side yard setback, and aggregated side yards, encroachments of eaves and gutters and driveway having less side yard setback than required. 2, effect of increased population density produces on available government facilities. 2 large homes, larger than the surrounding homes on small lots that require use of municipal water and sewer and sanitation services, and increased traffic demonstrate the negative effect of increased population density produced on available government facilities. 3, whether a substantial change will be produced in the character of the neighborhood or a substantial detriment to adjoining properties will be created. If a radius map was part of the application, as you can see how the adjoining homes were built on lots for 50 feet, but were by 275 feet deep, the proposed subdivision is out of character with the neighborhood. 2 additional homes, each of greater proportion and built with numerous variances, will absolutely have a negative effect on the quality of life of the adjoining owners. Whether the difficulty can be obviated by some other method feasible for the applicant to pursue other than a variance. That is simple. Build 1 home without subdividing, or a subdivision is granted and build 2 smaller homes that comply with all the other code requirements. A single-style ranch home built above the flood elevation would not dwarf the surrounding homes like the proposed new dwellings. Whether the manner in which the difficulty arose was a self-created hardship. This was clearly a self-created hardship. A single home building lot was purchased with the profited motive. Return of investment is all good and well as long as it does not negatively and adversely affect the adjoining neighbors and community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Kimberly Holland.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry. Kimberly Holland, 7 Baby Place.
Can you spell your
East-
last name?
Holland like the country. Holland.
Okay, I'm really having a hard time hearing you. There you go, thank you.
Kimberly Holland, Holland, 7 Baby Place East. Okay. I wasn't looking to make the notes longer, but after listening to the previous statements mentioned, I feel the need to clarify. First, we are not Bayview Avenue or Street, we are Bayview Place East. No one has ever spoken to my household over the last year whatsoever in regards to this build. None of us said that we wanted the home across the street to stay. Someone at the Breezy Point meeting mentioned if that house was salvageable at all, any part of it. The property is also not 17,000 square feet. It's closer to 16,000 square feet at 16,463. As far as the home being out of character, there's a mansion across the street from 101 Clocks at 110. And on the east side of the block, it's lined with historic, beautiful Victorians that have bigger lots and only one house on them. We would like nothing more than to see one new beautiful home, and building two slightly smaller houses than the current square footage of the one house is semantics, still twice the size, twice the cars, and twice the people. As far as it being suggested, it's not a private road. Our mailboxes are at the end of the block, and we are responsible to plow when it snows, and we are responsible to pave our own road. I also believe that codes are updated and changing for the safety of the public. Therefore, something from 40 years ago in 1985, I just don't see relevant to codes today. Two concerns now that we have are flooding and parking. Last week's storms flooded Clocks Boulevard Tuesday and Friday from Clocks into Bayview Place East, where not only was the water in my driveway, but it was in my garage, and I was left stranded. My neighbor, the Romanos, couldn't get back into their home, and I was stranded in my home for almost 5 hours. This is almost every rainfall now, and as a cancer patient, being stranded in my home from flooding in the past has made me miss chemo treatments and doctor's appointments. The sewers don't work, the bulkhead is falling apart, where the bay just runs right through it from the canal that's adjacent to Breezy Point Park. Two houses will only add to the drainage problems and the sewers, and the water flow of the gutters would have no place to go but to just end up in even more flooding. My second point on Bayview Place East Street, the street of Bayview Place East, is that it is barely 2 cars wide. There are already 5 driveways on the south side, 1 driveway on the north side. And with that said, we have an unwritten rule on the block that when we have any company, even if it's one person, they are all to park on the north side of the street, only so we can all pass. We also have the park and no parking on Clocks Boulevard, so people that are at the park are often parking on Bayview Place East, where oftentimes I have difficulty pulling in and out of my driveway. We would be more than happy to see one house on 101 Clocks property maintain the integrity of an already overcrowded area, but 2 homes would not only cause environmental issues for us, but also logistical issues with double the amount of people and cars. This will absolutely impact us from what would seem to be our natural right to easily come and go from our houses on a daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Stacy Baltz at 1 Bayview Place East. Most of what I was going to say was covered. I do want to say, though, my family's owned the property over 60 years. I personally have been there 55 because I'm only 55. And it has always been a private road. We have always had to pay for everything ourselves. It has never been in question, and we've been responsible for everything. And it was that way before I was born.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Carla Smith. I'm at 3 Bayview Place East. One of the things I did hear was, that was said, was that we didn't want a house there. We want the place to look dilapidated. That is not true. There has been 2 owners since Sandy and a couple of people who have wanted to buy the property. And what had happened was they tried to subdivide and the answer was no. We've been there, I think, since 2002. And I remember at one point when that house was empty, we were going to buy it to make 2 houses, and we heard that it couldn't because it couldn't be subdivided. So at that point, you take a chance. When you're buying something, you should do your homework prior. As far as, I think, an environmental look back by the zoning board, you should see what it would cost to have 2 houses, especially when it's going to be butt up against our block, which already has flooding. If you want, I have pictures of the last 2 days where we could not get out of our house. And as far as Bayview Place East, when the only reason why we're called East now is because there are 2 Bayview places in Massapequa, one which is 3 Bayview. I had a friend of mine who was actually dying, and they went to the wrong Bayview, and she did pass away at my home. That was in 2015. So Bayview Place East was installed, especially after Hurricane Sandy. And as far as anybody saying that they're not building a house with a basement, they can't, because you'll be underwater, so that's not a given. And as far as trying to make the lots that were smaller, if you know the history of Bayview Place East, those homes were bungalows that were rented many, many years ago by the original owner of that house where that property was subdivided. As far as having a beautiful home, I'm all for it. But as far as two homes in a short lot, which has already been subdivided, I would feel like I'm living in Queens. If I wanted to live in Queens, I'd move to Queens, but I'm paying $28,000 a year in taxes, and I can't see more water, more problems, paving my road, and then being told that we don't want it. We do want it, but we want it in a correct form. And as far as 50 by 100 or 50 by 275, they're only showing you one picture. If you look across the way, there are subdivisions of homes that are 2-acre lots, because that used to be the Hollywood place to go during the Hamptons times in the 20s and 30s and 40s. So that's why the lots are so big. As far as the 50 wide and 60, that's the way the houses were made back in the day. I mean, that's where the workers lived for the rich people that lived on clocks. So I hope that you make a consideration, and perhaps as a board, you can look at the environmental impact it can have with us with the water. That's what we're concerned. And I can tell you right now, no French drain is going to help it, and it's going to be right butt up against where we're living, and that's going to be our visual. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. My name is Rosemary Coates, and that's C-O-A-T-S, as in a coat. I am the vice president of the Civic Association, and I just want to be clear that we were notified, or I was notified, back in November 29th, that they wanted to meet with solely the Civic Association, not with the neighbors. At that time, we did not respond with a date. Now we're in January 1st. There was another request in regards to when we could meet. That date was January 11th. At that time, I made it known that I felt that the entire neighborhood that was going to be impacted should attend this particular meeting, because we as a civic association have no say in telling them, yes, they can build these two houses.
Of course.
So, at that meeting, never did anyone state that they wanted to leave this dilapidated building. We wanted to live like that. That being said, I have petitions signed, not only by those residents on Bayview, also residents on Clocks Boulevard, and I live west of Clocks Boulevard. I am on Pirates Cove, which is right the next street in the canal, and I have signatures from my neighbors in Pirates Cove, and we are all against this build. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Carly Litt, and I'm an associate with the Litt Law Group, and I am counsel for Jennifer Cook, owner of 115 Clocks Boulevard in Massapequa. That is directly adjacent to the subject property. I'm here today on behalf of my client to oppose the application submitted by Geoton Properties, which seeks substantial area variances that, if granted, would have a negative impact not only on my client's property, but also the community at large, evidenced by the many neighbors here appearing tonight to voice their opposition. I'm requesting, as you already heard, on behalf of my client, that the board grants an adjournment for today's hearing. My firm was just retained yesterday to represent Ms. Cook in this matter, and we have not had an opportunity to review the file and retain experts necessary to properly oppose the application with evidentiary support. That being said, I just wanted to address some of these comments and why we request this adjournment. I understand that this has been ongoing for over a year. However, my clients bought the property, as you heard, in April, so they were not present for those prior conversations. And you also just heard that no one told them about the December meeting that got adjourned on their behalf. They only got notices regarding this hearing, which is why then my client retained us. so we only were retained yesterday, so we request an adjournment. This application seeks substantial deviations from the code with the potential to have disastrous impacts on the neighboring properties and their values, as you heard. It's only right for my client and their neighbors to have the ability to properly present their case and have their day in court, if you will. And we thank you in advance for your consideration.
Okay, well, we just had a public hearing, so we're not going to adjourn it. We're
Understood.
we just made a very, very big record.
Yes, we unfortunately do not have all the experts and everyone with us because we were just retained, so we've not had sufficient time to coordinate our proper opposition. So we respectfully then request the board reserve decision on this matter and keep the record open so that we have sufficient time to compile the evidentiary support for our opposition. And at that time, we will submit same to the board.
I have not discussed this matter with the rest of the board members. I believe this is the last hearing for tonight, so we will discuss that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
L-I-T-T.
Ms. Simoncic?
First, I will address again, wait, I'm sorry. The issue with the notices and the neighbors. I did personally send a letter on January 17th of last year, reaching out to every homeowner within 100 feet, including the one directly to the north at 115 Clocks Boulevard. So we have been communicating with the neighbors, and again, I indicated earlier that my letter, actually wasn't my letter, it was another attorney in my office, but when we were advised of the December 14th hearing, we put together a letter, and this was after we had spoken with the civics, but we addressed this letter to every neighbor within 100 feet, advising that we'd be adjourning the December 14th meeting, and we've been having discussions with the members of the Civic Association and some of the individual neighbors, and we actually encouraged them to attend the informational meeting and present us with any questions for the January 11th civic meeting. So, and we sent that to every single neighbor within 100 feet, including everybody that spoke at this meeting tonight. So, and that goes back to the beginning of January of last year. So, anything to the contrary is simply just not true. And I've submitted copies of those letters.
It's been established that everybody got notification because they're here. We had a hearing, we have testimony, we have a record, just final decision is...
And again, given the outreach that we did, it's off-putting to hear people say that they weren't notified or they were in contact. And I know my client, George Zenos, personally reached out and had conversations with the neighbors. Some of them date prior to even the application being filed. So this was not something that was just sprung on any of the neighbors. So I just want to make that clear for the record.
Okay. There's no more speaking from on your side. Everybody got a chance to speak. We do this for every hearing. This isn't special. The applicant gives their testimony, we open it up to the residents who want to speak, and then we let her have a brief rebuttal, and we close the hearing.
Just a couple of points. Number one, regarding the size of the property. The surveys submitted with the application show that the property is 17,000 square feet. It's not under 17,000, it's exactly 17,000 square feet, so I want that to be noted for the record. In terms of the flooding concerns, as Mr. Rant indicated, this proposal is FEMA compliant. We're actually going to improve an existing condition of the property, which is not FEMA compliant. So, there currently, obviously, the other properties in the surrounding area are subject to flooding. That obviously will not change no matter what happens on this property, but we are improving the existing condition of this property by raising the homes and making them FEMA compliant. In terms of environmental impact, under SECRA, this proposal is deemed what's called a Type 2 action. It's automatically a Type 2 action. Variances are Type 2 actions, which are deemed to not have any adverse impact on the environment automatically. So it's a Type 2 action under the environmental laws of the state of New York, and therefore it will not have any adverse impact environmentally at all, and as such, there's no further environmental review by this board. So the environmental, there is no concern, there will be no environmental impact, and it's a predetermined type 2 action under SECRA. In terms of the standards for granting the area variances, which the neighbors correctly pointed out, first and foremost, every application before this board that's brought by a developer is obviously for a pecuniary financial gain. So this is not something that's out of the ordinary. A developer that comes before this board seeking variances is looking for a pecuniary gain. In this instance, the developer is looking to subdivide into 2 lots, and there are no alternatives but the variances in order to do that. So we're here because there are no alternatives. The benefit that the developer is seeking, the owner is seeking, is to subdivide and build 2 modest-sized homes. We can't do that without the variances. In terms of substantiality, we'd submit that variances are not, shouldn't be looked at in a vacuum based on percentages or otherwise. They should be looking at the totality of the circumstances. You've heard extensive testimony by Mr. Lynch that the surrounding area is really developed as most largely non-conforming. You have 50-foot lots up Clocks Boulevard on the west side. We're clearly in character, and even if a variance is deemed substantial by numbers, it's not substantial under the case law of the state because it's not going to have an adverse impact on the surrounding character of the neighborhood or the environmental conditions. Again, we're not talking about adding 2 homes, we're talking about adding 1 additional home, and I think that's an important fact. We've heard testimony that we're talking about 2 homes. There's already a home there. We're adding 1 home. 1 home is not going to cause overcrowding issues in the neighborhood, particularly where we have sufficient parking on site, and we're providing, as I indicated, 3 parking spaces on site. So that there's no issue with overcrowding. We're not going to be even using Bayview Place. We are respecting the neighbors' wishes to not do that. I would submit to the board a copy of a title search that was done, and there seems to be some inconsistent information regarding Bayview Place, but we had 2 different title companies do municipal searches. One was by Municipal Data Searches, and they indicate in reply to your request, we've been advised by the Town of Highways that Bayview Place East is maintained by the Town of Oyster Bay. And the other one states, from Data Trace, that please be advised that the above-mentioned street is a public road. So I would like to submit those to the board as well. And we're not here to dispute that fact, but we believe we do have the right to use the road, but in deference to the neighbors, we have completely changed this proposal so that we would not be having access on Bayview Place. And we certainly will not have the need to park on Bayview Place because we have sufficient off-street parking. We actually have 1 above what's required under the code. Finally, in terms of the character, just going back to that, because I think that really drives home the point of this proposal and how it truly does fit within the character of the neighborhood. Mr. Lynch demonstrated that the proposed lots are actually larger than many across the street on Bayview Place. A lot of them, as you see in the evidence, were built with the benefit of variances. So we really are in keeping with the neighborhood, and we're not creating nonconformities that don't already exist in the neighborhood. And finally, with respect to self-created hardship, that is just one factor, and certainly it's not dispositive under the law. So we would ask the board to look at the totality of all the evidence that you've seen, and we believe it's overwhelming that this proposal and these 2 new homes will be clearly in keeping with the surrounding character of the neighborhood. And again, as Mr. Lynch testified, it will increase the property values of this neighborhood and be an asset to the community. And a lot of times, neighbors don't like change. This structure has been there for a long time. It's vacant for 10 years. But change is good, and history and the facts demonstrate that this property will increase, redevelopment of this property with 2 lots will actually increase the property values. We're talking about selling these homes for $800,000, where the median home sale is $600,000 in this area. So new homes sell, they do improve the values of the neighborhoods. And I think I touched on all the points that I wanted to make, and I'm happy to answer any other questions the board may have, but that concludes our presentation.
I
do have a question. How
Yes.
long has the house that's there been vacant?
For over 10 years.
Oh, wow. So.
It's a
there's-
Sandy, right? A Sandy.
It's a Sandy home, yes. It's been vacant for 10 years.
So there's not been anybody coming and going yet?
No one. And this applicant, and people did come in and try to, I heard that they said they tried to subdivide. I don't know if anyone ever made an application, but there really is no market for an oversized house, particularly in this dead-end area of Clocks Boulevard. The houses are modest-sized homes. We're proposing modest-sized homes. To build a house over 4,000 square feet on this lot just would not make sense. It wouldn't fit in the character of the neighborhood, and it wouldn't be marketable, truly. So that's why we're proposing two houses that we believe will fit in the character of the neighborhood. They're small houses. They're under, the lot coverage requirement is 20% we're allowed. We're at 17.39%. Like, we're really proposing small houses here that will fit in with the neighbors' homes directly across at Bayview Place and adjacent to it, and up and down Clocks Boulevard.
All right. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Correspondence?
I do have these two letters. Madam Chair.
All right, I'm going to read these into the record. First letter is from Paul Falbo to Judy Simoncic. Dear Ms. Simoncic, as the owner of 7 Bayview Place East, Massapequa, I do not give permission to the builder of 101 Clocks Boulevard to use our private road for the driveways of this subdivision. I do not see how the owner of 101 Clocks Boulevard address has any right to build homes on Bayview Place East. The 5 of us at 135 and 101 Bayview Place East, and including myself, are responsible for repairing and maintaining this road and always have been. All of our mailboxes are also at the corner of Clocks and Bayview. The road is very narrow, and with all our cars as it is, if anyone is parked on both sides, we can't even get through to our homes. We have all mutually agreed for everyone not only park on one side of the street when parking on the street in general, but also when having company, to give our friends and family the same instructions, to park all on only the north side of the street to allow in and out access for the rest of us to get into our own driveways. The next letter is from Stacy Balls, 1 Bayview Place East. I believe she spoke tonight. Dear Ms. Simoncic, in follow-up to your letter I received as the owner of 1 Bayview Place East, I do not give permission to the builder. Okay, so this is the exact same letter I just read. I'm not going to read it again. It's just a different homeowner.
Could you indicate the date of those letters?
One is dated January 29th. They're both dated January 29th.
Of last 2023?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so that's, and do we have any other correspondence?
And Nassau County Planning Commission, their comment is that this falls outside of their jurisdictional purview, and so they defer to local
Local
determination.
municipalities, all right. We make a motion? Decision? The public hearing is closed. The decision of the board will be forwarded to you by our office.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
That's it.
It's a lot of paper. There's no problem with that. Oh my God. What do you think? What are you thinking on this? It's tough.
What about the no-show? So do you want them back?
Sure. That'd be great. I'll take them back. Yes, please.
So just tell me again. 7,
Oh, you
8,
want,
2, 8, and 10.
Yes.
No, I got
But I
7.
still think she's, like she said, it will.
15.
I think I gave you 10 bags.
Okay.
There's not even that.
Those are the ones that were postponed.
Kathy, can you read
Hold
those
on, it
numbers
was
again?
number 2.
Sorry. Anthony!
Yeah.
Great, just great.
2, 8, 2, 8, 10. 2, 8, 10, and 15.
Okay. I have
Please,
2.
that'd be great. Thank you, guys.
I have
What are
8.
we supposed to do?
2, 8, 10, and 15.
With that.
We tried calling someone, he didn't answer. I hope he's all
I
right.
hope he's all right, yeah.
That's not him.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Gennaro?
Yeah, I hope he's
He's never
okay.
done that before. I hope he's okay.
No.
Did you say he had another hearing tonight?
No.
I didn't know that.
That was
No, that
Ashley.
Oh,
was,
just her. I thought you did all of them. Okay. I hope he's okay.
maybe
did
you
all
took
the
it out
mailings.
already.
He's such a nice man.
You know, he did all the mailings.
2, 8, what?
2, 8, 10, and 15.
2, 8, 10.
I mean, 4 hearings, that cost him a lot of money to do all those mailings.
Yeah. I'm gonna go get my jacket. This is number 6.
10 and 15. Can you go this one? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Monday. I'm looking for 15. I'll go lose them. But why did I put it
Thanks for letting
back?
her go.
Is this 15?
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Ashley, yeah.
Yeah, she called ahead of time.
I know, she told me.
Yeah.
She's nice.
She's very nice.
Thank you very much. You know, more
Anthony, you know, he's
Save the staff a lot of work.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Is it? Nice. I need it like that. Oh, I know.
Right.
She's very sweet.
I don't understand why you put the yellow house on piece of shit.
Yeah, Tom's funny, right? Yeah.
But I don't.
It could be.
I know, I know.
It's a pretty house.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I have to see.
No, this is, yeah, no, this is my father of mine on the bench. And he said, and she lives right. Do you agree with this? Do you see the house? And because they have no income, because they have a business.
I'd like to get that same senior housing. That's like, what's the name of the other one?
Just to stay.
How many days to Yeah, April.
And they're not gonna.
Sorry?
Do you need to get any other building again?
No.
That's how I look at it, right? Yeah.
Never going there by myself.
Never. What a racket.
I know.
Sorry.
Yeah, right.
And the other house.
Oh, I know. And that's why, you know, and the family are killing each other.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're here late tonight. We're gonna talk fast.
Okay.
Ready, ladies?
Already.
We're gonna talk fast, so pay attention.
Yes.
Good idea.
Hearing number 1, appeal number 23-615. Easy peasy. I'll move it.
Read it.
I'll second.
Read it,
We'll
Lisa.
give it to Lois, and
Oh,
then,
is it Lisa what I should, oh,
well, I
sorry.
already made the mark,
Okay,
so.
fine. Okay, you can have next
So
one.
who got it?
Next one we don't have, right?
Did we do 2?
That was not a
turn
hearing.
to-
All right,
Okay.
and 3 was
show.
postponed, so hearing number 4, appeal number 23-709. Lois? Lisa?
I'll second, sure.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 5, appeal number 23-729.
I'll
That was
pass it.
fun.
You good with that, Kathy?
Yes, I am.
Kathy will move it.
I'll second.
Andrew will second it. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 6, appeal number 23-619.
That was the fence with the building materials in the front. Do you want to have that,
Would you like to wait and see what code finds out?
reserve it?
Will you send them?
Certainly.
So we'll put it on reserve for 2 weeks.
Did you get any calls about that?
There was a neighborhood had come in. What? There was a neighbor that had come in.
Good.
Yes.
Okay,
so-
then we should post,
Yep.
2 weeks.
Put on reserve, certainly.
Got it.
Hearing number 7, appeal number 23-639. FAR.
This is, I'll pass it.
Oh, this,
Yeah, the village had already approved the house next door, which actually
oh, this was the
one
fireman
closer
that
to
wanted
the
to talk
neighborhood.
Yeah,
forever.
yes, I will approve it.
I'll
It's
second it.
Okay,
All in favor, aye. Any opposed, ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 8, appeal
No
number...
show.
No show.
No show.
Hearing number 9,
I'll move it.
appeal number 23-638, Andrew
I'll second.
and Lois. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 10.
No show.
Thank you. Hearing number 11, appeal number 23-656. I don't have a problem with this one. I'll move it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Lisa will second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 12, appeal number 23-657.
I'll move this. I'm fine with it.
Andrew? Kathy, you want to second it?
Yes, of course.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Next one was postponed. Hearing number 14, appeal number 23-728. I don't have a problem with this.
I'll
That's
move
the one
it.
that the neighbor supported, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you live near commercial property.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said, that's what I,
And he's
I said-
willing to accommodate them anyhow.
yeah, he's gonna accommodate that.
Isn't that nice?
Condition on no play parking.
When Fairway was there, it was probably a zoo. Nobody said rats, but I can only imagine how bad it was, so,
The delivery trucks, there were a lot of problems with those
yeah.
delivery
You know, if you live next to a horse farm, you gotta expect to smell manure.
Yeah.
If-
I love the smell of horse manure.
All right, move on.
It's getting late, let's go. Let's go.
All right, so who's moving? Oh, I'll move this.
I said I would.
Oh, you want to move it? Kathy will move it, I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 15.
No show.
Hearing number 16, appeal number 23-640. This was that one on the corner.
Letter of consent from the neighbor, no, not affected, most
Yeah.
affected.
All right, it wasn't as big as some of the other ones there, but I just don't like that roof pitch.
Oh, this, you know what, no, this actually isn't bad. I know this area pretty well. They're all
You
like
looked
that.
at the elevations, what did you
Yeah.
think, Rita?
It has some
It's
specs.
not as massive as I thought it was gonna be,
Yeah.
so.
I'll move this.
Andrew will move it?
Yeah.
Who wants to second it?
I'll second.
Kathy will second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 17, appeal number 23-60. I just wanted to stop him and say, you don't have to do this, you're gonna get it.
He wasn't catching the hand.
Okay, I'm gonna move it.
Second, all right.
Lisa will second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 18, appeal number 23-636. This is the pool equipment. I'll move this.
Second.
Rita and Kathy, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 19, appeal number 23-725. This is the one where the wall fell down, or came down.
We built it on the same.
All right, so I'll move it.
Okay, second.
Kathy will second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing number 20 and hearing number 21, appeal number...
Peter
This
Moore,
was a
but not
hardship.
Peter Moore.
Yeah, it's Peter Moore, my cousin, his cousins live next to me, down the block. He's got family everywhere.
Line go.
And all they had to do was move the fence, so they bought the property.
So this is both hearings, 23-721 and 23-722. I'll move it.
I'll move it because I like the name Peter. No.
All right, Kathy said, Lois said it first, so we're gonna go with Lois.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Lois. No, it's not you, Kathy.
Did you do it or you didn't do it?
It's
Lois
me,
said-
it's me and Lois.
Okay, and you're second?
Yep. Holdover number 1, appeal number 23-561. 2 letters of consent on this. The basement's a party room, but
I'll move this.
Andrew will move it. I'll second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Hearing holdover number 2, appeal number 23-602.
This was the one with the decks on the
Decks,
side?
yes, which are
That is
illegal,
for sale,
but
I
it's-
actually
it
saw
is
the
a for
listing
sale.
online.
Yeah.
It didn't, it says it has 1 kitchen, but 6 bedrooms.
What an ugly
So you
variance.
wanna reserve this again and make sure what was represented is accurate?
There's what?
6 entrance, yeah.
6 entryways into the house?
6 bedrooms, and this was the one with the decks on the side.
Yeah, 6
That's right, one.
entrances.
Yeah.
I remember, well, it was originally granted in 2001, Patty was chairwoman.
Well, we got.
Well, well, code went there and saw that there was one.
So do you want to reserve it for the decks, to make sure the decks that are on there are the ones that were passed? Because they
Well,
did
that,
expand the
if
decks.
they don't, if they're not, then the inspector's never gonna pass. I mean, I don't tell me
Yeah.
what to do. I'm just saying, whatever the plans are.
I think, at this point, I'm willing to grant it. My message to that woman was, you're gonna, I know what's gonna happen with this house.
Yeah.
She's got a
Yeah.
full code.
But us not granting it isn't gonna change that.
Because it's the height thing, which is totally different. I
Right.
mean, that's a Sandy thing down there, so that's.
Right.
That has nothing to do
So
with
we
the
kinda have to,
other
and leave it
issues,
up to
yeah.
code now to deal with this headache that started in 2000.
All right, so we're going to put it on.
No, we're gonna vote on it, and I guess I'm gonna move it because I opened my big mouth. Who wants to second it?
No comment.
Andrew?
Sure.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Holdover number 3, appeal number 23-611. Why do I have stop signs?
Because he said the stop signs make the people stop.
No, I think they make the people go. Then nobody stops for them.
I wrote that Lois looked at this and was okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
It's okay. You can see there's not a problem.
You wanna move it?
Sure.
I'll second it.
Andrew will second it. All in favor, aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Holdover number 4 and holdover number 5. Appeal number 23-629 and 23-632. I think I kind of want to put this on reserve.
Yeah, I think we should put
What
this on
about-
reserve so we
what
can
about
get some
holdover 3?
documentation.
Wait, we'll get to that.
Oh, sorry.
Going in order. 2 comes
And I'm
before
sorry,
3.
what do you want to reserve? You want to reserve?
I want,
I want to reserve them both. Let this attorney that they hired do her thing, whatever it is she's going to do, and then, but I want you to bring it back in 2 weeks.
Certainly.
I want it back because I have feelings.
Yeah, I would let her know, though, that we're gonna bring it back in 2 weeks for a vote, so whatever documentation that she wants, she needs to get it to us by then.
Certainly. I do have emails from these people starting way back.
Yeah, I mean, they've been
they've
duly
all-
notified. They're not gonna sit there and say they just found out
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
Read it in 2 weeks, do you care that you're not here?
What?
That's right.
you wanna
I
wait?
don't care that I'm not here. You'll be here. The rest of you will be here.
I won't.
You
Yes,
won't?
you will. You'll be here in
Wait,
2
2
weeks.
weeks?
Oh, yeah, I keep saying, it's the February one.
You're gonna
February
be here?
17, this 15.
I will be here next week, yes.
Yeah, bring it back in 2
Okay.
weeks.
All right, fine.
Okay,
So
so we're
that's-
bringing,
Holdover 4 and 5.
all right, and we're bringing it back.
Now we're on holdover number 6, appeal number 23-596, and while I would still like to deny this, I can't deny it based on the fact that they knew better. They made the door go away, and that was our biggest objection
Lou
to
was
it.
sitting here?
Oh,
I said if Lou was sitting here?
so they took out the most egregious part of the last variance, and the rest of it it's really nothing, so I'll move it.
Okay, I'll second it.
All in favor, aye. Any opposed, ayes have it, so moved. Now we have
We have a lot of
extension.
extensions of time.
I went through these extensions of time when I went through my calendar, and I see that they're all, it's construction, so with the price of construction materials and
Ability to get.
costs,
Yeah,
I think we should grant all of these
Okay.
an extension of time, and I will move that, and one person can second it on all of them.
I'll second it.
Andrew,
Okay.
so that's Rita and Andrew on all the extensions of time to grant.
All of them.
Okay.
18,441, 18,441. Can I just
You want me
go
to
on
call
for
them
that?
out?
Do you mind?
Yeah, I'll call them out. 18,441, 18,442, 18,443, 18,444, 18,445, 18,446, 18,447, 2248, 2249, 2250, 2251, 2252, and 21,267.
Brings us to reserve decision.
Okay.
There's only one.
So, just to look at,
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
So BC and D are removed completely? Is that how I'm reading this?
He completely revamped this whole house.
Okay.
So those requests, the roof pitch he took away, the front yard request he took away,
Wow.
Yeah.
Do we scare him?
Yeah.
Where did we scare?
The side and front yards he removed, all of this reconstruction, so the rear yard, all of that he removed, the driveway he removed. He removed all of those things. The only thing that he needs is the rear yard.
Who did we scare that much?
The rear yard, the builder, he was a builder.
Wow.
That came
When
in,
was
what,
it in the
was an
hearing?
odd piece of property in
It's the only guy
Hicksville.
you guys ever scared.
Oh, it was back in July. We scared him in July, so I forgot.
I don't know what you did.
Oh, well, I'm gonna move that we grant this, because he really
Yeah.
did his job. Anybody want to second it?
I'll second it.
Lois will second it. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it, so
And
moved.
just two names for the parent-child extensions, please, that you reviewed.
Kathy Mulligan and Lisa.
Thank you.
Are they closing the country club, the one in Glen Head? I saw something about rezoning it.
That's been
Cedarbrook.
going on for like 1,000
They're building
years.
32 houses there.
Okay.
But that was approved
Curious.
10 years ago.
I just saw,
They did some kind of green development where they were gonna do a big perimeter years ago. But then the owners, because I know some doctors that were involved in it. A lot of doctors, a big Spartak group, yeah. And there were a bunch of doctors involved. I know
There's
one
gotta
guy.
be I think there has to be like a
Well,
imprint.
number eight
There's
was,
one.
You think it's approved now?
so I will be here next meeting. I know you'll all miss
Fun,
me.
have fun. Where you going?
I'm going to
Jupiter. If we're talking about the same one.
Jupiter.
Yeah.
Make good time.
Yeah, it's in up.
And I won't be at the next meeting.
I wanted to go, oh, lucky you.
I don't think so.
I'm going to Jupiter. I'm going to Florida, yeah.
Oh, your favorite place.
Yeah,
So I know.
I gotta go before the baby comes.
He had passed away. And they had a deal years ago, and they were gonna do a big green perimeter on it, and
I help you out.
And then it just
It's
died.
not,
But I'm
it's not to do with that.
It would be a full-time job.
You just can't get away.
Yeah, I gotta be able to.
Amongst each other.